Kamareg. Emergency services personnel will start door-knocking homes at risk of being flooded along the River Murray. The peak flow rate will be at the border in the next few days. Police Commissioner Grant Stevens says 455 properties have been identified as a priority and will be visited over the next 4 or 5 days.
We also are aware of the fact that there may be properties alongside those 455 in exactly the same situation and location. They might not be permanent residences, but we'll be checking on those as well. So in essence, the number will be more than 455, but we're hopeful that we can get through that workload in the time frame that we've identified, because we are deploying sufficient resources to do that.
The Firefighters Union says a strike threatening to cripple airports can be averted if more staff are employed. Aviation firefighters will strike for 4 hours on Friday the 9th of December over staffing levels and pay. The industrial action could cause airlines to ground flights. United Firefighters Union Secretary Wes Garrett says it's not too late to avert the strike if Air Services Australia meets their demands.
I think if we can have a clause and a framework around minimum staffing and an undertaking that Air Services will listen to the people who provide this service around minimum staffing, I think they've got a long way to resolving this issue.
The Minister for Indigenous Affairs has delivered an emotional speech in Parliament in support of a voice to Parliament. The measure will be put to a referendum next year in a bid to give Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders a greater say over policy decisions. The Nationals won't back the move, arguing it will do little to improve the life of Indigenous Australians. But Linda Burney has told Parliament nothing could be further from the truth.
An Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander voice is an idea whose time has come. The Australian people will decide this referendum, not politicians, and I have faith in the Australian people.
SA is following other states and territories and introducing legislation to make industrial manslaughter a crime. It would see maximum prison terms of 20 years and fines of up to $15 million for reckless conduct. Attorney General Kayam Ma says dodgy operators should beware.
One of the big effects that we've seen in other states that have brought in these sorts of laws is the deterrence effect, to make sure that businesses know they're on notice and to take extra care with health and safety at work. And we think it'll have the same effect in South Australia and also hold those dodgy operators responsible.
The legislation will be introduced to Parliament early next year after public consultation is completed. Now turning to FIVEAA sport, and despite his highly publicised defection to the controversial Live Golf Series, Australia's Cameron Smith says he's received a positive reception from fans.
Haven't copped too much. I think the keyboard warriors are really the only ones to worry about, to be honest. Everyone down here loves it. The guys, I think, genuinely just want to see good golf, and hopefully we give them that out here in Melbourne.
Smith is hoping to win his first Australian Open, which starts on Thursday in Melbourne. Test captain Pat Cummins has denied he's become too woke after confirming Australia will take a knee prior to the start of the first test against the West Indies tomorrow. Cummins says his team is taking a stance against inequality in the Caribbean. And Brazil and Portugal are safely through to the knockout stages of the World Cup after securing their second wins of the tournament. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
At Penfield, we've got pothole repair works on Penfield Road near Heathslip Road. Adelaide 500, got a few road closures around the east end of the city today, including Kettleville Terrace, Bartels Road and Hutt Street. Pretty busy, avoid it if you can. Other road works to keep in mind today, Bedford Park, works there, Main South Road near Flinders Drive, and we've got works Green Hill Road at Glen Osmond Road. Cameras, Peacock Road in the city and Seaford Road at Seaford. Burbank Homes is offering 50% off your choice of any upgrades. Add the finishing touches to your new home for half price. Search Burbank Homes, Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Now the FIVEAA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy this afternoon, 21. Mostly sunny tomorrow, 24. Thursday sunny and 27. And Friday sunny and a top of 29. Right now it's 19 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
The SA schoolie stunt that goes horribly wrong. Hear from the teen at the centre of it all, his warning to others. A sex crime suspect arrested 34 years after a Western Suburbs attack. Airport firefighters to strike next week, how it could affect your holiday travel, and scam season, why you need to be on high alert this Christmas. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
The FIVEAA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
And a very good afternoon. Welcome along to the show. Happy Tuesday to you. We are in the beautiful Barossa Valley, where Steinborner Barossa Hyundai, where tomorrow's car is in stock today. You can take a tech drive in the Hyundai Tucson Turbo Diesel and experience innovative tech and the all-wheel drive performance. Tim Ginniver, Stephen Rowe, lovely to see you both.
Thank you very much, Leith. Absolutely, not Steinborner, always well worth the trip, isn't it, Leith? And we did it very easily. I've got to say, coming down, the only delay I had, and I was happy to get it, I was coming down Port Road, and the police were escorting, and I thought, who's royalty coming to town?
Guns N' Roses.
Other side of the road, all the 500 cars in all big semi-trailers coming down up into the city, and I was thinking, how exciting is this? It is happening in Adelaide. It's going to be alive and happening this weekend. It's going to be absolutely huge. So we'll talk to Craig Lowndes a bit later in the show. Come on down if you want. Steinborner here. We can say good day. We can come out, have selfies during the break, you name it. But there's lots happening in the world of sport. The Australian 11 was named. The AFL men's first round of the draft got completed. The remaining rounds get done tonight. There was more World Cup results. The Velo Adelaide 500 in town. It's all happening. I've got everything in front of me. But as I welcome my co-host, Stephen Rowe, the AFL men's first round of the draft got happening. It's all through. I was just wondering, mate, did you watch it? Would you ever watch it? Is it a TV event?
Before we get to all of that, everywhere we go, you get mobbed. People flock to you. You're like the Royal Show. Every single person that filed past, Timmy G, you took photos and everything.
Oh, a lot of money, you know.
Well, we've rocked up here, and a beautiful young reporter from the Barossa Leader newspaper took our photo and then leans over and says, and who are you?
Yeah.
To write on her pen. Tim, and you had to spell your name out.
Which
I said, excuse me, young lass,
Yes.
this is 7 times, 5 times, 4 times, 3 times.
She said, shut up, I don't know how to spell it. What is it?
Oh, that just made my day.
Oh, you
Timmy.
did. You got excited by that, which small things.
But
small
everyone
things.
knows you. Well, I'm a small person that has small things.
Let's be honest, she was probably not in
and
my
her
demo.
Her mum is a tragic Port Adelaide supporter and will be very
Well, I
embarrassed when she
believe
gets
the
home.
family related to Peter Mead.
Peter Mead, who only got you into a grand final.
You did, with a massive torp after the siren. Incredible, 1965.
So who are you? Your new nickname is who are you?
Oh, well,
you asked me a
live with
question. The draft coverage was boring as bat droppings, a snooze fest. I'd rather stick toothpicks in my eyes than watch that. Well, wouldn't you?
So you're saying it's not a TV event?
It's not a TV event.
I'm not really sure whether it does. I mean, I know where they're trying to go. They're trying to follow that NBA and NFL type model.
Well, stop it. Stop copying the Americans. We're Australian.
Unfortunately, we're happy to read about it online or in the paper the next day. We're not that fussed, I don't think, with the whole event as such.
Well,
the only people are those that are invested, and there was a fair bit of investment last night.
Well, look, there was, and having lived it, for the parents, the friends, the family, the emotion, the elation of when that name comes out, it is just next level.
Well, that's what we're going to hear now. The Crows, with selection number 17, picked Max.
Adelaide have matched Sydney's bid, and with pick 17 selects Max Michaelani from Norwood.
Yeah, I was extremely happy to get that done early. Didn't sleep much the night before, so thankfully slept pretty well last night, and pretty excited. They didn't give me 100% or anything like that, but I was pretty confident that they would, as I said, extremely grateful that they did.
The young fella pretty excited there. I think a lot of relief there. It's always the way. I think once you think it's going to happen, but when it actually happens, there's a lot of relief for the family as well. So his father, Jim, a Norwood champion, as we know, and that's a father-son prospect pick. So hopefully we'll be able to get both of those guys on shortly to the show. But Rowie, Sydney, they played a few games last night with that, didn't they? They did it to GWS, the pick before, for Harry Ralston, and said, we want a bid. And then they did it again with Max Michaelani. Were they playing games?
Well, I don't know whether they were playing games or it's an even or upper. What tends to happen in this game, if you get cooked one year, you get the chance to cook them down the track. So maybe there's a little bit of Jordan Dawson and all of that. Just on Jordan Dawson and Matty Nix went to the door of Max Michaelani to meet him. No Rory Sloane? Don't read anything into that.
Oh, I would not. I mean, he's just had a brand new baby,
Fair
so I
call.
would say that he's off duty.
A lot of people are saying first father-son. Well, he is the first father-son. Benjamin and Jackson Edwards were on the rookie list.
Yeah.
This is the first father-son from that original rule. The original rule was you had to have played 200 games, 200 sample games before 1991.
Yeah, which is ridiculous, by the way.
And it's a minor miracle. Well, it was ridiculous because I think the only player that was qualified at that stage when 1991 came in was Donald Neil Curley's son, Donald. Sadly, both of them aren't with us, but he was the only one that qualified. Now, Bryce Gibbs didn't because his dad missed out. They didn't prior to that. So he's the first true father-son. People are saying, what's he like, Robbie? Well, I've seen a little bit of Max Michelini. He's 190 centimetres. He's athletic. He's a wily defender, has good closing speed, good in the air, terrific skills. Do you know who he reminds me of?
No.
I played 5 years with this bloke, Ben Hart.
Yeah, right.
Ben Hart, 188 centimetres, wiry, athletic defender, went on to be an All-Australian, multiple and
Great
premiership player. God, if he's as good as Benny Hart,
wow.
Crows,
Wow.
you've got a ripper.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I like him too.
Yeah, wow. I did see him play a little bit in the sample, and I thought...
Just missed out the grand final team.
Just missed out. He was probably a bit unlucky. A senior player came back into the team. But you know what? He held his own, and what I liked about him was he was probably man-conscious first, ball second.
He is a defender.
And he's a defender, which is a good sign.
Yeah, no, I think that's an absolute ripper. The draft did throw up some surprises. Essendon selected Elijah Satis.
Satis. Yep.
Satis, got that right. Because we all thought it was going to be Matthias Filippo, who was
Well, they
touted
interviewed
as
him, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. But anyway, he slipped, if you like, if you could say slipped. I mean, from what, 5 to 10?
Yeah.
Top 10 draft pick, you're an absolute talent.
I think Callum Toomey was around the mark with 9, wasn't he?
Yeah, yes he was. He slipped to St Kilda, pick 10. Have a listen.
I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot. I'm so excited. Growing up, we always used to say, Ross Lyon's got the Dockers in shape. So it's pretty funny to now be, being coached by him. But yeah, I'm so excited. Can't wait to learn a lot from him.
Now, he wouldn't be flat. People are saying, he'd be a bit flat. He didn't get to the big club. Now, remember, beforehand, he talked up a big game. I'm going to do this, we do this, but,
He did speak about
and I don't
Melbourne
mind
as
that.
a city as well.
Yes, he did. Just have a listen to him pre-draft.
I've always wanted to be in the spotlight and play in front of big crowds and get all the big games, and Melbourne teams get that. So I think it'd be awesome playing in the G, every 2 weeks, or Etihad and things like that. Essendon at the Combine, they're excellent to sort to, just like all the other clubs. But yeah, it's definitely exciting when a club's very interested in you.
Yeah, well, St Kilda don't play there every second week, and they're not a big club. And they don't get Essendon's big clashes Friday nights, but he'll still do well.
Oh, look.
Do you know, what I see this is if the Crows had, and I know I said it a couple hundred times, if they had stayed put and kept pick 5, guess who would be at their club?
The only thing on that is
Matthias
what
Filippo.
We spoke about with Bix last night. Who's to say that they didn't try that and Gold Coast said, no, that's not happening. You give us this or it's not happening. So they may well have played that card, Gold
Well, they
Coast.
could have, but I think it's more this. They prioritised Isaac Rankin over a kid
I think
like
you're
him.
right. Well, that's what we spoke about the other night, where I said, well, you know how much they were invested in him and how much they wanted him. That's why they did
That's
it.
right.
So.
They got Isaac. That's great. I hope he becomes the midfielder they want him to be, but we wish Matthias Filippo all the absolute best, and certainly Max Michelini, who's a first rounder.
Which is awesome, and hopefully we can hear from him soon. But the number 1 pick who went to Greater Western Sydney was Aaron Cadman.
With pick 1, the Giants have selected Aaron Cadman from the Greater Western Victorian Rebels and the Darley Junior Football Netball Club.
It's so special. I never in a million years would I have thought I'd be in this position, and to share it with my family and friends and all these people in the room, it's super special. We haven't really spoken too much about the position that I'll be playing, but it's just more the sort of stuff where I'll be staying and who I'll be staying with, and I just can't wait to get cracking into it and meet all the boys.
Yeah, I reckon what I've seen and heard of him so far seems like a really humble kid.
Oh, lovely lad. Spoke really well.
Really surprised that he's jumped up to the number 1 pick. So, look, good for him. He said there comes with a bit of pressure, but I'll just have to handle it. So, good attitude. Hopefully goes well.
Don't they liken him a bit to the next Jeremy Cameron?
I don't.
I know you don't.
I don't like speaking about.
God, if he's as good as him,
he looks at a cross between Hurd and Jeremy. Fair dinkum. Absolute rubbish that is. Leave the kid alone. Look, the first test in Perth starts tomorrow, and the skipper Paddy Cummins on the line. I'll just give you the first 11. It's Kawaja, Warner, Labuschagne, Smith, Head, Cameron Green, Carey, Cummins, Stark, Hazelwood, Nathan Lyon. No surprises there, I don't think. Nothing's really popped up there. But here's Paddy Cummins just talking about the 11 and their opponents.
I think you probably could have picked it 12 months ago, so everyone's done well to get them fit and firing for this series, and yeah, we're in a really good place, so pretty easy decision. Test cricket's tough no matter who you're playing, and yeah, looking at their lineup, they've got some really class players. I think some of their fast bowlers play on wickets that traditionally don't probably suit fast bowlers, so coming over here they're going to be excited. So yeah, I'm sure they'll put up a great show.
So no surprise there, Rowie, but the next grab I want to play, this is an interesting one. They're saying this could be the last time Davey Warner plays a test series in Australia. Of course, it's Ashes, and maybe that's where he says farewell. Let's have a listen to his response to that.
It's a great feeling that we're here. I still open the batting for Australia, and hopefully it might continue for another couple of years. I did make some comments, but look, these legs are still fresh. I'm still scoring runs. I'll have to obviously assess where we are at the end of the season.
Should he continue on? What are you thinking?
When he's making runs, absolutely. He's just so dynamic at the top. He's got that experience. I think the end comes quick to cricketers. If you think it comes quick to footballers...
quicker the footballers, I reckon.
Well, it does. So I think if he's still making runs, he's at the top of the order. There's no one really knocking down the door. Marcus Harris is the 12th or the 13th man with Scott Boland. I do feel for Scott Boland. He came in when there was an injury to one of the fast bowlers. 3 tests, he's had 18 wickets at 9.5. He can't get in. Cummins, Stark and Hazelwood are in front of him, but God, he's done nothing wrong. Do you know what I'm rapt about? Trav Head at 5. You little beauty.
Yep.
And to say that he needs runs in this first test would be an understatement for me.
Well, he's coming off the back of player of the series.
He's playing really well, exactly.
Against England, so I don't know that he's under that much pressure. But look, I think he's enjoying that position. He played it very well in that test series, and I think he's got a lot of confidence, as we saw in the tri-series.
Carey as wicketkeeper, Head in, absolutely superb. Good little text, this one. Nice bit of symmetry. 2021 Crows used pick 17 for Dawson.
Yep.
2022 Swans bid on father-son Michael Annie with the same Dawson pick. Michael Annie greeted by Dawson. Bit of symmetry there.
Gee whiz.
Like it.
It's a nice little bit of weaving and woving there.
Oh, well, care factor nil, but, you know, it's a little texty. Put it in the book of stiff, you know what. Hey, it's the North Point Trader at Rowie's Ride to Rusden. It is for my charity, the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
What do you got tonight, mate?
This one's a money cannot buy one.
Oh, one of those.
Now, this is a Crows one today, but tomorrow's
it's a money can't buy, but money will buy.
But it will today at 6:30. So it's a dinner for you and 9 mates at the Great Jarmer's Kitchen. So thank you to Chris Jarmer, one of the best. Yeah, absolutely, one of the best chefs. I'll host it with some 36ers players. We might have a couple of Crows players there as well. Timmy, you can drop in and have a little schnitty if you like. So when you say priceless, last year this went for close to $3,000. So 82230055. Get the bids coming in. They close at 6:30.
Does he put you in one of those rooms? The one out the back or the one up top?
The one up top.
One up top.
So you have your own private room.
That's
and
nice.
honestly, we got looked after like kings. I bought some Rusden wine in. Wow. We had some Rockford. It was
it's too much.
It was a high-end night. So get the bids coming in for that, 82230055. No, you can, Tim. You'll sit at the end of the table.
You're on the kids' table.
And you'll hold court. And you can also donate. Just head to the page at rowiesride.com.au. Every single cent goes towards the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We thank all your support.
Yes, yesterday was fantastic, wasn't it, with a bottle of grain? So let's try and get some good money for Make-A-Wish. 82230055. We'll speak to both Michael Annies after 4:30. The first night of the draft continues today. So Port Adelaide fans who are just hanging there going, well, when's our turn? Tonight
What's happening
is
tonight?
the night. Graham Corns, this being a Tuesday, will join us. Craig Lowndes ahead of the 500 this weekend. And Matty Hayden to join us ahead of the first test of the summer, Australia and the West Indies. We are broadcasting live from Steinborner Barossa Hyundai in Nuri Utpar. We'll take a short break and we'll check the traffic for you next.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Christmas is covered with the Fruit Choc Shop. With fruit chocks, violet crumble and other indulgent varieties to choose from, there's a classic men's gift box for everyone. Keep listening for more great gift ideas. Merry Christmas from 5AA.
Introducing Australia's Most Wanted. Unanimously judged as Cars of the Year. The fully electric Kia EV6, winner of Wheels Car of the Year. And the Kia Sportage, Drives Car of the Year. To pick your side in this sibling rivalry, visit kia.com.au.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
You don't just do a good barbie, you're the tong master. You're not flipping snags, you're the backyard hospitality director. So you deserve the very best outdoor kitchen from Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. Choose from the best appliances, add a bar fridge or pizza oven, or stun your guests with one of our custom-made concrete bench tops. We do outdoor ones and indoor ones too. Order now and be entertaining next year while the weather is still warm. Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens for appliances, custom concrete bench tops, barbecues and more. Go to adelaideoutdoorkitchens.com.au.
Check your pockets for a little fiver, just a little fiver, because that's all you need to pick up some fried gold from the Colonel.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. He's delivered again with KFC's $4.95 double tenders burger. Ooh, that sounds good. It's double the tenders, double the fun. 2 original tenders with a squirt of pepper mayo sauce, plus crispy lettuce on a bun, and all for under $5. Can't believe it.
There's a KFC just down the road. I know where I'm heading after here at 7-ish, whatever, Timmy. If you've got a...
7:06.
If you got a hankering for 11 of the finest herbs and spices on the planet, get your dinner's Kentucky Fried Chicken and get this in your belly.
KFC's $4.95 double tenders burger. They're not everywhere, not forever. Pick up only at KFC.
A shock absorber, CV joint, or maybe a bearing kit. It may seem like just a 4-drive part, but open it up and you'll find so much more. Each Terrain Tamer 4-drive part is the culmination of 50 years of experience. Every break, every lesson, every setback far from home strengthens everything we do. So when you break down miles from home and you drag out our number, you'll know you're in safe hands. That's the Terrain Tamer connection, and it comes free with every part.
Whoa! That's Internode's NBN 50 plan. With typical evening speeds of 50 megabits per second, we may have made it... Whoa! Too fast! And it's just $59.99 a month for the first 6 months, then $79.99 a month. Call Internode on 13 66 33 to check availability. Seriously? Minimum charge is $359.94. Speeds may vary. New customers only. Offer may be withdrawn without notice.
Hi, Susanna Toop here. 30 days. That's the average time a rental property stays vacant. But at Toop & Toop, we find tenants in half the time, saving landlords an average of $860 a year. Who are you trusting to look after your biggest investment? Toop.com.au.
Walker Crash Repairs. For easy insurance repairs on your caravan. Get it fixed right with Walker Crash Repairs.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
23 minutes after 4, broadcasting live from Steinborner Barossa Hyundai here in Nooriut. If you watched the draft last night, what did you make of it? Good TV event or not for you? Port Adelaide fans wouldn't have been tuning in. Nothing for them to watch. They'll be watching tonight. We'll get your thoughts on that. And David Warner, should he hang him up at the end of the summer, at the end of the Ashes, you might have your thoughts. We'll get to your calls and your text messages right after we check the traffic for your drive home.
Hey, Bob, I've got a crash on the north-south motorway near the Hodgson Road roundabout. Take it easy through there. Another collision. This one's at Morford Vale, Main South Road and O'Sullivan's Beach Road. Car blocking the intersection there. While at Penfield, pothole repair works continue. Penfield Road near Heathslip Road. Got a few roads closed for Adelaide 500, including Decatterville Terrace and Bartels Road. Avoid those areas if you can. And look over a camera at Doothie Street at Unley. Ampol is proud to support Surf Lifesaving. Visit a participating Ampol Foodery by December 6 to make a donation. Ampol Foodery, worth a stop. See ampol.com.au for terms. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
We've had a lot of folk asking what do the Crows have to give up for Max Michaelini as father-son. Well, when there's a bid, and Essendon did, at pick 17, that bid has a value, if it's in points, of 1,025. So imagine 1,025 points, the Crows have to have equal amount of that number, less the 20% discount for father-son. I know it's a bit confusing, I'll try and make it as simple as you can.
Yeah.
They had pick 46, which is 331 points. Pick 56, 194 points. Pick 59, which is 158. My quick math, it's close to 700. Okay, 700 is not 1,025 less. The discount is 820, so they're about 130 short. They can roll that into next year, but they've lost 46, 56, 59. So what that now means is, when we go to the draft at 6:30 today, they've got 2 list spots. They've got picks 69 and 79. Now I'd imagine those picks will come way in because not everyone's going to use their picks, and they're thinking there might be as little as 50 to 55 draftees this draft.
Okay.
So that's it in a nutshell. Jim Michaelani and Max Michaelani after the news.
I think we've got a local on the phone here, Rowie. Adam joins us. G'day, Adam.
Hey, how are you, boys?
All right, my friend.
Hey, you guys are up in Newry this afternoon. I'm reckoning after the show, pop out to the Newry Footy Club. It's the first night of pre-season for the boys. Reigning premiers in the Barossa.
I was going to say, they won the flag.
Love to see you boys out there, so get over the lads with their start and maybe have a property or two.
We might sneak out there. Do you think you'll get the AFL game out there, Adam? What are you hearing?
Well, they reckon the oval's too narrow, but you know.
Is that what they're saying? Too narrow, Adam?
Yeah, the length.
How does it compare in dimensions to, say, Norwood Oval?
I reckon it's Newry Oval's the same length as Adelaide Oval, but it's about 4 or 5 metres either side skinnier. So
Okay.
They're sort of saying that's not appropriate. So a bit of a shame, but hopefully they change their mind and get an AFL game up in the Barossa.
Adam, I wouldn't cop that because Norwood Oval is half that size.
Oh, it's a tiny ground, isn't it?
Skinny and in length, but they reckon they're going to have 2 games there.
Geelong's skinny too.
But Adam, we'll head out and see the Tigers. I might dribble out there. So when I leave here from Steinborders, do I turn left or right?
You turn left at the high school, go to the caravan park.
Oh, I know where that is. Yeah, that's a great little oval. So it's before the Vine. The Vine Hotel.
Tim's done his back, Adam, so he might just have to sit in a pocket.
Well done on the flag too, Adam.
Yeah,
what a
good
victory
on you.
over, it was Gawler South, wasn't it?
Yeah, South Gawler, It was a bit of a horrid day up at Angaston, but we managed to get over the line. So.
Who's your coach, Adam?
Alfie Jenner.
Okay.
Alfie. Yep.
Well,
Cole, good player.
Mate, I reckon if you gave me 500 cash and 2 bottles of Rusden Black Guts a game, I could sit in the forward pocket for you at 57.
All right, done.
Done!
Well,
done.
there you go.
Yeah.
As easy as that.
Adam, you're getting ripped off.
I'll be out there at 7 o'clock. Who's getting ripped off?
Adam, he's
Is
getting
he?
ripped off.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Sorry, mate. Well done, Adam.
Brilliant. Thanks for your call, buddy.
Out there. Now, what pick support got, Timmy?
They got 33 and 60 tonight.
And who's the lad they got their eye on?
Yeah, well, they were sort of looking at a couple. Harry Lemmy just locally, but there was another lad, I think it's pronounced Eves, and he's a tall defender, and that's the one they're looking at if he gets through that far to 33. But there is some talk that he might, so hopefully that does happen tonight. But that's probably what they're after. But in the end,
you do need a big brute of a key defender.
The only thing I will say is a lot of people last night on the back of that conversation we had just said, you know what, just always get the best player who's remaining. Don't worry about it, whether it's this position or that position and the like. Just get the best player, and then
you did that once.
And that's not a bad theory.
Robbie Gray was that best player.
Pick 55, something ridiculous like that. So yeah, good call. So get the best player that's left.
So just on that, the key defender. Everyone, we get texts left, right, and centre. Play Finlayson, play Finlayson. I get that. He's a good kick. He can mark.
Beautiful
he can play.
kick.
He can play on and all that. Where's the young Lord lad at?
Ollie,
yeah. So Ollie played, and his what would you say? His frame is starting to fill out.
198 centimetres is a good size.
I'll tell you what, he can take a grab, and he's played forward a bit. But the back half of last year, he played a few games back and didn't look comfortable there.
He's only just turned 20.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Do you like him?
I do. I really do. So I'd keep an eye on him, and whether he gets some confidence down back. I can remember Darren Smith playing a whole year in the back pocket as part of his development, and gee whiz, he became, a 343 game centre-half forward. So.
And that Dante Vicentini, I know he's a ruckman. Can he go back?
Not at this stage.
No.
He definitely
so he's
looks
just
like
a ruckman. Okay, so you really do need one.
And just a text, mate, flying through. Father time for Warner.
Lot
Time
of
to go.
saying that.
Stick to 2020.
We'll get to more of your text messages and your calls very shortly. On the other side, though, the first official Crows father-son through the draft, Max Michelani and his father Jim to join us.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamarek. Air Services Australia is being urged to negotiate with the Firefighters Union in the hope of averting a strike plan for next Friday. The state government will introduce new legislation next year to make industrial manslaughter a criminal offence. Police in Shanghai have arrested anti-government protesters as demonstrations spread around China, and Australia will head into tomorrow's first test match of the summer against the West Indies with a largely unchanged lineup. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Bola, we've got a crash on the north-south motorway near the Hodgson Road roundabout. Take it easy through there. Another collision, this one's at Morford Vale, Main South Road and O'Sullivan's Beach Road. Car blocking the intersection there. While at Penfield, pothole repair works continue. Penfield Road near Heathslip Road. Got a few roads closed for Adelaide 500, including Decatable Terrace and Bartels Road. Avoid those areas if you can. And look over a camera at Doothie Street at Unley. Ampol is proud to support Surf Lifesaving. Visit a participating Ampol Foodery by December 6 to make a donation. Ampol Foodery, worth a stop. See ampol.com.au for terms. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Mostly clear tonight, a low of 11, sunny tomorrow 24. Currently it's 19 degrees. More news at 5 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
5AA Breakfast.
Adelaide 500 week, of course. The concert for so many people is just as exciting as the racing action. And exciting too if you're a fan of our next guest, Jimmy Barnes.
One of the proudest products of Adelaide's northern suburbs. I'm sure that deep in your soul you'd be a bit of a redhead.
Over the years I've had a lot of great cars, but unfortunately I'm a shocking driver. Growing up in Elizabeth, E.H. Holden would have been, I would have been in heaven.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
You gotta love end of year at Southern Mitsubishi and Wayville Mitsubishi. Nothing stops them from giving you the best car buying and servicing experience in Adelaide. Southern Mitsubishi has undergone a major expansion with more used cars in stock than ever, plus same day or next day servicing. And of course, the new Wayville Mitsubishi showroom is just spectacular. Looking for a new Mitsi or an outstanding used vehicle? Head to Wayville and Southern Mitsubishi. Driven by Australian Motors.
It's time to discover authentic beauty. Let Silver Sea and Phil Hoffman Travel take you closer to the hidden parts of the world. With over 25 years' experience, Silver Sea have been creating all-inclusive luxury cruise holidays to unforgettable destinations. Your intimate luxury cruise ship offers personalised service, beverages throughout the cruise and gourmet dining. Book with Phil Hoffman Travel and receive an exclusive $1,000 per person air credit off select European cruises. Visit pht.com.au.
Hey Strikers fans, TK here. Don't miss a minute of BBO action this summer. Remember these dates. Wednesday, December the 14th, our season opener against the Sydney Sixers at Adelaide Oval. Also my birthday. Next up, it's the big one, December 31st. Adelaide's biggest New Year's Eve party returns to Adelaide Oval. You're all invited, but get your tickets quick as they're selling fast. For tickets to all BBL matches, visit adelaidestrikers.com.au and I'll see you back at Adelaide Oval this summer.
Mum says I can be anything I want to be.
8-year-old Sophie is so determined to learn. But like 1 in 6 Australian children, she lives in poverty. This blocks Sophie's progress as she doesn't have everything she needs for school. Like all children, Sophie deserves a chance to be whatever she wants to be. You can help Sophie get the extra learning support she needs to reach her potential. Please, change the life of a child this Christmas. Search the Smith family.
Speak with One Solution and they'll tell you cybercrime is not a big business problem, a government problem, or a small enterprise problem. It's everyone's problem. Ransomware, malware, and adware remain the #1 threat. One call to One Solution will put your business in a safe place. It's the smartest, most cost-effective business decision you'll ever make. Get in touch with One Solution, winner of the National Telstra Customer Experience Award. onesolution.net.au.
Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
26 minutes to 5, broadcasting from the Barossa Valley. Hyundai here. Steinborner Barossa Hyundai. Tomorrow's car in stock today. Take a tech drive in the Hyundai Tucson Turbo Diesel. Experience the innovative tech and the all-wheel drive performance. We can see it here in the showroom. It is a beautiful looking car.
Beautiful.
Before we get to the father-son Michaelani team now at the Adelaide Crows, Rowie, you have another amazing offer for people to help out Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, you can bid. This is for the North Point Trader Rowie's Ride. Money can't buy. Well, it can, Tim. You can do it. A dinner for you and 9 mates. That's you and 9 mates. A private room at Jarmer's Kitchen upstairs. I will host. Timmy will come along. There'll be 36ers players, a couple of Crows. You can bid now on 8223 0055. The bids close at 6:30. It is all for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So get them coming in. And if you want to donate, rowiesride.com.au. Get to it.
How exciting was it last night for the draft? Now, as you said, Tim, when you're invested, it's an even better night. So
Correct.
imagine being the people in...
It's a special night.
In question.
Adelaide have matched Sydney's bid, and with pick 17 selects Max Michaelani from Norwood.
Yep, well, Crow's first official father-son official selection is young Max Michaelani. Max, he's on the line. Congratulations, you're now a Crow.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Oh, good lad. And your dad, Nord, great. Jim Michaelani, 211 games, 4-time premiership player, joins us as well. Jim, how good is that? One of the special nights in your life, I bet.
Well, it's fantastic, Rowie. Funnily enough, I was listening to you the other day in the lead up to the draft, and you were saying how your own experience was such a wonderful time for your family. And, you know, honestly, you can't understand how exciting and, you know, pleasing it is when your own son is called out on the draft, and he went a bit earlier than we thought. You know, we were sort of thinking maybe, hopefully, you know, some mid-25 or something between mid-20s, and when he went at 17, we're certainly over the moon.
Oh, next level. Max, back to you. Give us all the details. Where did you watch it? Who was with you? Was it low-key? Was it over the top? Did you... You know, give us all the great details. Who was the first you rung? Who did you kiss? You hug? Who cried?
Yeah, it was a pretty low-key night. As Dad just said, we weren't too sure whether it would be tonight or last night, so pretty much just had my family over. Didn't want to invite too many people in case I had to send them home empty-handed, but it was really special to, share that night with my family. So I had Mum and Dad there and my brothers and my 2 little nieces as well. So, it was unreal. And, obviously as soon as Sydney called out my name, the whole house kind of erupted. And then we kind of sat in silence for about a minute or two before the Crows, massive bid, which, I was extremely grateful for and, over the moon with it.
Max, congratulations. Did you grow up following the Crows?
Thanks for that. I did. Dad went for the Crows, so, didn't really have much choice, got forced into it, but, grew up in a Crows household, supported the Crows my whole life, and, dream come true that I finally ended up there.
Yeah, mate. Now, where do you actually like playing? Do you like playing in defence?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I've been playing down there for about 2 or 3 years now, but, in saying that, I've always enjoyed playing other positions as well. But I think probably backline's probably come most naturally to me so far.
Oh, fair enough. And Jim, when you've been watching young Max develop, did you see any similar attributes to your good self?
No, not at all. He's quite fast and pretty nimble on his feet, so that cuts me at Timmy. So.
What's he like overhead though, mate? He's pretty good, isn't he?
He's a natural player. I think he's well balanced and he's got some good skills and stuff like that. So he's his own player, and I don't see much of me in him at all really. But anyway, there he is. He's on his own journey now, I think. So that's great.
Yeah, he'll run his own race. Max, still with you. Matty Nixon, Jordan Dawson knock on the door. They get there. They get out the red, yellow and blue top. They put it over your son's shoulders. When they did it to my boy, I cried.
Yeah, it was a pretty surreal moment. I was kind of lost for words. Like you hear a lot of the draftees say they're lost for words, but truly, you don't really know what to say in the moment, and you're just so excited. So many emotions boiling over, and as I said, it's unreal to spend that type of night with your family.
You goal orientated, Max. What's your expectations of yourself for next season?
Yeah, I'm just looking for a steady improvement, really. Pushing for senior selection. Obviously, that's a massive milestone in itself. So that doesn't come next year, hopefully the year after. But just looking to get in there and obviously earn the respect of the boys and just get to work.
What did Nixie say to you?
Oh, Nixie's just, he was unreal last night. He was saying how happy for me to be at the club and how he looks forward to getting to work with me as well. So, it's really good to have him come around and, get to know my family.
Yeah, well, you almost ended up at Sydney if they didn't match the offer. So was that why Jordan Dawson was there?
Yeah, that was a bit weird last night. He was telling me that the deal for him to come back to Adelaide involved the pick that they used to pick me. So it was a bit of a weird one, but funny how things turn out.
Wow.
Hey Max, who's been really influential on your career so far?
I've had a lot of people. I'd say obviously my dad would be the first one. He was my first ever coach, really. Grew up playing under him and obviously aspired to be like him growing up. And then, that kind of progressed. I was really fortunate to have some really good coaches through my junior years. I had Jimmy Allen at Ross Trevor, which he did a lot for me. And then obviously Bangers and Twig this year. They were just unreal and really fast-tracked my development.
And Jim, have you any word of advice for the young fella? Just moving forward, has there been a little quiet fatherly, motto that you've given him?
Well, it's always trying to remind Max it's a team game, and you put your teammates first, and I guess look after them first and foremost, and do your best whenever you can, every time. So no magic words of advice, but just pure and simple. Be the best teammate you can be, and do your best.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what you were, Jim, in 211 games and 4 flags, a total team man. Just let's indulge a little bit. Jimmy, we won the flag. How good was that? I mean, the mighty Nord, wasn't that just a grand final for the ages?
Yeah, Rowie, we're Nord people,
Yep.
Nord's our club and always will be. Even though Max has got this great opportunity to go with the Crows, and that's wonderful in itself. But the experience that Max had in the last final series, he played in a couple of the finals leading, just down on the grand final. But we were so pleased, and that he was part of it, and we don't begrudge anybody, dropping or anything. So it's a fantastic win, and it's great to be part of that.
What number you putting your hand up for, Max? Have they offered you one yet?
No, they haven't offered me anything. Keen to see what's available and then what they offer me from there.
Yeah, I think Sean Wren's 52 still available.
Oh, that has always been available. You know who you remind me of a Crows player, Max? Very similar attributes and almost the same size. Good closing speed. Is Benny Hart. Is number 34 available?
I don't think number 34 is available. I think there's 31, 16 and 40. I think those are the ones available. But, going to see what plays out.
What about, did you ever wear your dad's number? Were you one of those boys?
Not really. I did wear it for an 18th game this year. But outside of that, I don't think I've really worn it at all.
Well done. Well, Max, be very proud of this point. The hard work starts, and I know you're up for that. And Jim, as a father, it's just one of the special days. You'll savour it forever, amen, until he plays his first game. Then that's next level again. To the two of you, fantastic. What a result last night. You're a Crow. Jimmy, well done. Thanks for your time.
Well, thank you very much, boys, and we look forward to Max, see how he goes in getting through the summer training.
Yeah, he'll do well.
Now, all the best. I'll let him do it by himself, Jim. Good work, mate. Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Father, son, Jim Michaelani, Max Michaelani.
That is a great
and
story.
Both of them on. How good's that?
And fans love that. Fans love a little bit of sporting theatre.
Little synergy.
Just want to send a cheerio out to Elliot Himmelberg, who almost lost his number 34 jumper during that conversation. The big easy.
Oh, the easy.
Running around with number 34.
Now, Bix has sent us in a tweet.
He has. So he was talking about the fact that because of Brisbane and the two father sons, so
Will Ashcroft,
right, son of Marcus,
Yep.
and Jasper Fletcher, son of Adrian,
Yes.
both went father-son to Brisbane.
Fletch.
All of those picks got moved forward. Therefore, the Crows do have enough points, and they are not in deficit.
Not in deficit,
So
and
is
that
a good
makes
result.
sense. So thanks for that, Bix, which means they can have the 69 and 79,
Correct.
and they didn't have to use them for those picks.
That's right, and now they'll use their future next year to try and get back in tonight and see what they can do.
Which they'll try and negotiate with GWS.
Correct.
Just a text that came through, is Jim Michaelani the oldest dad to have a father-son? Now, that is actually a really good point. It's back to that ridiculous rule that you read out earlier, Rowie, where they said that any Crow father-son had to play 200 sample games before 91. The ridiculous way that was set up was, for Victoria, it was just 100 games.
That's right.
For WA, it was 150 games.
That's right.
But for the Crows, it was that rule, and for
200.
Port, it had to be 200 before 97. So where's the logic in any of that in comparison to either WA or Victoria? But absolute ridiculous, and that actually restricts a lot of father-sons for the future.
Well, now that the club's 31 years old and the Mark Rashudos, the Ben Harts, the Simon Goods and all that, can all have kids can go forward. I just had a look at the Crows. So they want to trade their North future second, which they traded out 23. We know all of that. To get into this round, the first pick in this round tonight at 6:30 is pick 22, and GWS have it. So they could get that and have the first pick of the rest of the lads that are there on the shelf. They have some interest in West Adelaide ruckman Harry Barnett. Now, we do get that they do need a ruckman, and a ruckman that can develop underneath of Riley O'Brien and young Strawny. And I just thought, over the years, how much and how many West Adelaide ruckmen have they produced?
Wow.
So I thought I might have missed any, and if I have, please give us a call, 822 300 00. We'll start with the great Mark Micken.
Yep.
Best and fairest in the first year, West Adelaide ruckman.
Yep.
We move to Rennie, premiership star, two-time, five-time, one of the greats, the Puss. Marsh, young Marsh.
Benny
Marsh was a premiership player.
Correct.
98, wasn't it? The second year.
Yeah, I reckon you're right.
98.
Yep.
Now they got Riley Thilthorpe. Now we all know pick 2, he's going to develop into something special.
Yeah.
Well, wow.
The big men from Westies, eh?
The big
More
men
synergy.
come from Westies.
Done well.
Get him then. Make sure you get him and pick him up from there. Hey, we have just been alerted to the fact that your Rowie's ride to Rusden for North Point Toyota Make-A-Wish Foundation, Dave from Semaphore Park, has offered up our first bid at $1,200.
Wow.
So that's about what,
$1,200 to sit with you
Well,
and
it's
Tim.
more so the food and the drink you're going to get.
Well, it's quality.
Sharma's Kitchen.
We did it last year. I'm telling you, it was absolute pure quality. So
Dave in the lead.
It's a dinner for 10 of you.
Yeah.
10 of you, you and 9 mates at Jarman's Kitchen upstairs in the private room, and it is all laid on, hosted by myself, some 36ers players. We'll get a couple of Crows come and dribble the way through. The bids are on 822 300 55, closes at 6:30. Last year it went for around $3,000.
Wow.
Not being greedy. I know times are a bit tough, but get
Dave
your bids
from
coming
Semaphore
in.
Park, he's going to try and drink $1,200 worth of Rusden Black Cuts if you get along, Dave. Go to that. So make sure the bids keep coming through. Graham Corn's coming up from 5 o'clock. Craig Lowndes at 5:30, and we'll cover the cricket. Matty Hayden-Haydos will join us after 6. Let's check the traffic first for your drive home.
At Bolivar, got a crash on the north-south motorway near the Hodgson Road roundabout. Wolford Vale, got a collision there. Main South Road at O'Sullivan's Beach Road, got a car blocking the intersection, while at Penfield, pothole repair works continue. Penfield Road near Heaslip Road. Roads are closed at Adelaide 500 today, including Hutt Street, East Terrace and Bartels Road. Avoid the area if you can. And we've got cameras, Aldinga Beach Road, Aldinga Beach, and Port Road at Aldinga. Road closures in place around East Parklands until December 8th for the Velo Adelaide 500. Plan ahead and avoid peak travel times. Go to dit.sa.gov.au for more info. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
Rowie, I'm pumped to hit.
The next generation of mighty South Aussies have spoken.
Equal rights for everyone. Oceans without junk in them. No nasty chemicals in things.
Search Sustainable 7 to hear more about what the future's got in store for Foodland.
FIVEAA Sports Show, weekdays from 4 p.m.
Ditch the city for the all-new Riverview Villas at Berry Hotel. It's very perfect for your summer getaway. Book at berryhotel.com.au.
Hear that? It's the echo of 3 nights of epic concerts. The sound of bubbles, beers and banter. It's awesome DJs and plenty of food trucks. And the scream of supercars pushed to their limits. It's a 4-day festival to get summer started. It's the FIVEAA Adelaide 500, December 1 to 4. Search Adelaide 500 and get your 2022 tickets at 2012 prices. The streets are calling.
Meet Nick, a proud South Australian CFMEU member.
So I'm a site delegate now, in the industry 20 plus years. I love my workmates, I love my state, I love my job, and we're building something really strong and special, and I know this state's going to be up there. I know how important that stuff is. I still say it's going to be the strongest union, the strongest culture. That's what we're aiming for. Everyone likes to be part of something, obviously. Use the opportunities to benefit the worker, and that's the way it should be.
We stand stronger together. The CFMEU, a union of opportunity.
Battling high chlorine when you take your pool blanket off? Rather than trapping excess chlorine that concentrates to higher than intended levels, Sunline Australia's innovative Aquavent pool blanket allows for maximum heat gain and retention, while letting excess harmful chlorine escape. Award-winning Aquavent, the world's only breathable solar pool blanket, is proudly Australian-made for creating a healthier swimming environment. Upgrade to an Aquavent today. Visit sunlineaustralia.com.au.
SA's own and favourite milk company, FIVEAA Milk Company, is giving you the chance to win a $4,000 Phil Hoffman travel voucher. Take home our limited edition Christmas products and get creative. Take a pic of them under your Christmas tree as a Chrissy decoration. Anything you can think of. Then share your pics on Facebook or Instagram and tag FIVEAA Milk Company and Phil Hoffman Travel. You could win a $4,000 travel voucher. T's and C's apply. See website for details.
G'day, Jim. How was your stay in the all-new Riverview Villa at the Berry Hotel?
Oh, Pete, it was very nice.
Berry? Do you mean very, mate?
No, I mean very nice. The Berry Hotel's all-new villas have very comfy beds, very nice waterfront dining, and I played a pretty good round of golf too.
Don't you mean very good round of golf, mate?
No, it wasn't that good.
The Berry Hotel, just a couple of hours from Adelaide. It's the very perfect place for your summer getaway. Book now at berryhotel.com.au. These new waterfront villas are booking very fast.
Join the Wiggles and World Vision in bringing hope and joy to children around the world by sponsoring a child this Christmas. Your support can make them feel strong and proud through improved access to food and education. Sponsor a child today. Search World Vision.
Scraped your caravan? Your insurance should cover that. Speak to Walker Crash Repairs and let them fix it.
Rowie and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
8 minutes to 5. Matthew Hayden's going to join us after 6 o'clock. We'll talk more about the cricket in just 1 second. A little bit of news before that. If you would like to go and see the 36ers, hottest ticket in town, taking on the Cairns Taipans Friday night at the Encent. First caller through, 8223 0055. We'd love to give you a family pass for that. Daniel from Ross Trevor has decided, you know what, I want a piece of that Jarmus Kitchen action for Rowie's ride to Rusden, North Point Toyota,
hit the front.
Make-A-Wish Foundation, $1,500. If he wins it, can we get you to sing Daniel on the show?
Yeah.
No, he's not allowed to sing, mate.
Yeah, but it's for charity.
Yeah.
Timmy's got his auction item tomorrow, and it's going to be special for Port Adelaide people.
Yeah.
But let's get the Crows one up and running.
$1,500, Daniel.
And you can donate to rowiesride.com.au. Every cent goes to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which is absolutely superb. Timmy!
I tell you what, before I get onto it, you just mentioned about West Adelaide Ruckman at the Adelaide Crows.
You got a text.
Well, I got a text through. The next
There's
teammate of
more.
yours, Sean Tasker. He said, don't forget Darren Barch and Brooke Fogden. We're at the Crows as well. So how's that? That is a phenomenal amount.
So if they get Harry Barnett, that'll be 7.
That is-
7 Ruckman.
That is freakish.
It's a
Unbelievable.
Ruckman footy factory. West Adelaide for the Adelaide Crows.
Land of the Giants.
Wow. Well done.
Now, boys, as I said, the first test is starting in Perth tomorrow, but there's been a lot of build-up to this. Maybe not great build-up either between Justin Langer and maybe Cricket Australia and maybe some of the players, but Paddy Cummins actually came out today about the coward comment.
There's no
cowards in an Australian cricket team, not ever. So yeah, thank Justin for, I guess, clarifying his remarks afterwards. I think he had to think about it and clarified it, so thank you for that.
Yes, just quickly jumped out of that to tidy that one up.
Just
but,
a reversing truck there.
Yeah, it sounded a little bit like that, didn't it? I reckon the beep, beep, beep might have been in action. But he also went on to talk about the values, because we're seeing a lot, and he mentioned about Linter Energy being on the top, and we've seen a few other incidents that way. But here's what he said about the Australian cricketers and their values.
We're cricket players, but you can't leave your values at the door. People stand for different things. So taking a knee this week, we're doing it out of respect for West Indies, in support of equality. Anyone that says that's a bad thing, I'm not too bothered about.
I don't know.
So the West Indies have been doing this apparently before every test match that they played since the George Floyd incident.
Correct.
But the anti-woke brigade are going to say, oh, you're going woke, Australia. Come on. Come on, just play cricket. Be the little scallywags we love you to be. Be appealing to us, and don't worry about being all things to all people. Now, I don't know. Is it hurting anything? I keep channeling Bix with these sort of things. No, it's good. No, but he's good with me. He's good for me like this. So are you, Timmy.
They do it in the Premier League.
They do. So I'm starting to turn. I've never been a fan of sport and that, and you've got to be, let's put our hand on our heart, let's put one hand in the air, let's take let's put a rainbow on, let's do a pirouette, No, just play the bloody game.
Without dismissing...
But it is good education.
Without dismissing any of those causes, Stephen, I think the only thing you've got to be careful with is saturation, so that it doesn't have the impact that you want it to have.
Yeah, if every game they do it, that's right. Good point.
Eventually you go, well, they're doing that again, right? And that becomes wallpaper. What you need to do is always make that impact. And that impact that we talked about when the eyes are on and the stadium's there, and that moment when... You're doing it too often.
Yeah, and that's what
people
sport's becoming.
They may take it for granted.
Well, I'm there.
And I don't want them taking it for granted because the causes are worthy.
Of course they are.
But you just got to be careful with how you execute it.
And it starts a conversation. Before we get to the news, anytime Steve Waugh talks, we listen, because Steve Waugh doesn't talk an awful lot.
No.
Good call. And here he is about what we were talking about earlier, the saturation of cricket.
Yeah, there's a lot of cricket on. It's hard to follow. I mean, as a spectator, it's very hard to keep up with it. The 3-1 days against England seemed a bit insignificant, really. I mean, what were they playing for? And, there wasn't big crowds. I think the public sort of, almost overdosed on cricket. So you want the special series to be iconic, like the Ashes and against India at the moment. Yeah, it's hard to sort of follow the Australian side, because every time they play, they've got a different team on the field. So for fans and spectators, it is hard to make a connection. You need that consistency in the Australian side. You want to know who's in the side every game, and you want to sort of be following it closely. It's really hard to do that right now.
And don't rest players.
When Steve Waugh talks,
play to win.
We listen.
Yeah,
love him very well.
Love him.
Johnny from Port Augusta doesn't listen, but everyone else does. We are going to get to the break. After the 5 o'clock news, Graham Corns.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
These holidays, give yourself a treat with Patriti Wines. They're open 7 days in Dover Gardens with live music and food trucks every weekend. Keep listening for more Christmas inspirations. Merry Christmas from 5AA.
Don't run all over town this silly season. Head to Jeps Cross Home HQ, South Australia's largest homemaker centre, with amazing stores like SA Lounge Suites, Waka Noodles, Jeps Cross Floor World, The Coffee Club, Nick Scarley, A-Mart, Oz Design, Barbecues Galore, Harvey Norman, Toy World, Barbecue Adelaide Weather Store. With over 45 stores and free parking, Jeps Cross Home HQ has everything you need in one easy location. 750 Main North Road, jepsxhomehq.com.au.
What could change everything for you? For Jess, it was a unique spoon. For Ravi, a remarkable pair of glasses. And for Graham, a wheelchair with a difference. Items that gave Jess, Ravi and Graham more independence. All discovered at the store that changes everything. What will you find at Novita Tech, Australia's largest in-store assistive tech experience? Now open at Hindmarsh or shop online at novitatech.com.au.
If you're thinking about building, if you're just about there and you're thinking, I don't know who to go with, have a listen to this one. When you sign with some of the big builders, it can be a bit of fanfare. They'll throw everything at you, including the kitchen sink, maybe even two. But everything seems rosy in the beginning until you have questions, and then it can be hard to find somebody. So, not at Lamar Homes though. Lamar Homes is a quality South Australian builder with absolutely nothing to hide. And they've been around for 15 years. I've been out, seen Laurie. He's an absolute legend. Sat there with him and I thought, what a genuine bloke. This bloke just wouldn't tell any fibs. Lamar Homes are all about people, not numbers. So the team at Lamar are always available to answer your questions, even the really tough ones. He always said to me, I want people to feel like I'm building my own home. That's how much he's invested. The other great thing about Lamar Homes is that you can inspect your home at any stage, even lock up. Yep, just to make sure you're happy with everything. So some of the big builders maybe aren't really comfortable with that. Not Lamar. They have nothing to hide. Visit lamarhomes.com.au. Here today, home tomorrow.
However much they grow, nothing's more important than keeping our kids safe and happy. So when they buy a home of their own, it can be daunting. But with an apartment at One Lightsview, you can breathe easy. Nestled in natural landscapes just 15 minutes from the city, these brand new 2-bedroom apartments offer sustainable community living close to parks, cafes, medical centres and more. Starting at just $374K, the final apartments are selling fast. Plans at ahomeofmyown.com.au.
Online, on DAB digital radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly clear tonight, a low of 11 with the 5 o'clock news. I'm Michaela Kamarek. The race is on to notify people in low-lying areas along the Murray that they'll soon be flooded. Emergency services have started door-knocking today, making sure they're prepared. 455 properties will be visited over the next 4 to 5 days, but Police Commissioner Grant Stevens says no one will be forced to leave.
If a person chooses to stay at their property, then they'll be doing so with the full knowledge of the possible consequences of being at the property without power or other utilities, and we just need to be satisfied that they have a plan and how they're going to manage their own circumstances. At this stage, there's no plan for forced evacuation.
Premier Peter Malinauskas says it's unprecedented action.
Probably one of the most substantial outbound contact efforts that have ever occurred in the lead up to an emergency in the history of the state.
Firefighters will take industrial action at major airports next week to draw attention to understaffing, which they say is putting passengers at risk. On Friday the 9th of December, they'll strike for 4 hours. Flights could be cancelled as a result. Firefighter Jason Cacchetti says his colleagues are sick of being understaffed.
It's well known around the fire stations that if there's an aviation incident, we've got very, very limited amount of time to be able to actually get people out. And the fact that we don't have enough staff and we've lost one extra truck and all those sorts of things, we know that we're going to be right up against it. We're going to be up against the wall before we even roll out of the engine bay.
Liberal MP Bridget Archer will cross the floor in federal parliament to support Labor's censure motion against Scott Morrison. The federal government argues the former Prime Minister must be condemned for holding 5 secret portfolios. The opposition won't back the move, arguing it's a political stunt, but Miss Archer says it's about integrity.
For me personally, I have taken strong stances in the past couple of years in relation to integrity in particular, and it would be an act of hypocrisy for me to not act in relation to this.
In China, thousands are storming the streets in dispute of the harsh COVID-0 policy. Protesters believe the strict regulations caused the deaths of 10 residents forced to remain inside a burning apartment block. The group are calling for President Xi Jinping to step down. Jimmy Barnes is still playing this weekend's Adelaide 500 despite announcing he's having major surgery. Saturday night's concert will be his last until the second half of next year. Jimmy has apologised for taking time out but says years of rocking out on stage leaves him with no choice but to undergo hip and back surgery.
I really want to say sorry to everyone for the inconvenience. As much as it kills me, I have to get this fixed so I can jump around the stage for another 50 years. I'll see you when I come back.
Now turning to 5AA sport, and Australian cricket captain Pat Cummins has brushed off accusations the team is engaging in woke activism. The side will join the West Indies in taking a knee before tomorrow's first test at Perth Stadium. Cummins says he's prepared to upset people who think the team should stick to cricket.
We're cricket players, but you can't leave your values at the door. People stand for different things. So taking a knee this week, we're doing it out of respect for West Indies, in support of equality. Anyone that says that's a bad thing, I'm not too bothered about it.
Heavyweights Brazil and Portugal have qualified for the knockout stage of the FIFA World Cup, and Tiger Woods has withdrawn from the upcoming Hero World Challenge in the Bahamas as he battles a foot injury. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Samri. They don't grade cheese, they do great things. Get into it at samri.org.au.
At St Peters, we had a crash, Stephen Terrace near 5th Lane. Bolivar, another smash there, north-south motorway near the Hodgson Road roundabout. While at Morphevale, another collision slowing things up. Main South Road at O'Sullivan's Beach Road with the car blocking the intersection. Got a few road closures in the east end of the city. That's for the Adelaide 500, including to Kettleford Terrace and Part Towers Road. Avoid that for the drive home for delays. I got a camera Port Road at Aldinga. Save hours Googling new housing estates. Discover over 4,000 housing estates at OpenLot, plus cashback rewards on offer. Visit openlot.com.au. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Mostly clear tonight, a low of 11. Mostly sunny tomorrow, 24. Thursday sunny and 26. And Friday sunny and a top of 28. Right now it's 19 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
The SA schoolie stunt that goes horribly wrong. Hear from the teen at the centre of it all, his warning to others. A sex crime suspect arrested 34 years after a Western Suburbs attack. Airport firefighters to strike next week, how it could affect your holiday travel. And scam season, why you need to be on high alert this Christmas. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
What does Bob Burns Blinds say to summer? Bring it on! Get set for summer now at Bob Burns Blinds with 30 to 50% off selected items. Transform your home with gorgeous window finishes, including custom-made zip screen outdoor blinds designed and made right here in SA. With super quick installation, high-quality materials and first-rate service, creating stunning spaces has never been easier. Get set for summer now with 30 to 50% off selected items. Book your free measure and quote today. Visit bobburnsblinds.com.au.
What are your kids doing this summer?
They're enrolled in backswim.
It's not just swimming lessons, it's water safety.
They learn to keep themselves and others safe.
Never know when you need it.
Visit the Backswim website today for more information and to enrol.
Walker Crash Repairs. For easy insurance repairs on your caravan. Get it fixed right with Walker Crash Repairs.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Broadcasting live with accompaniment from Stephen Rowe. We are broadcasting live from the beautiful Barossa Valley. We're at Steinborner Barossa Hyundai here in Nooriutpa. We are sitting in the showroom, all these beautiful Hyundais around us. Tomorrow's car is in stock today, so if you're in the market, you can take a tech drive in the Hyundai Tucson, the turbo diesel, and experience innovative tech and all-wheel drive performance.
They are superb.
Staff have looked after it. It's a beautiful part of town, sun shining in the Barossa.
Yeah,
Why would
magnificent.
You not
This is
be
God's
here?
country out here.
Beautiful. Matthew Hayden's going to join us after 6 o'clock to preview the first test against the Windies. Craig Lowndes, the Velo 500, gets underway on Thursday.
Correct. Right.
Timmy got stuck on the freeway with all the cars coming in, but it is exciting for the people who love their motoring. And if you love all sports, this man covers every issue. Time for Graham Corns.
Oh, there he is, giving the wave to the Norwood supporters.
Graham Studley Corns.
Graham Corns joins us. G'day, Cornsy. How are you, mate?
I'm missing you blokes. I'm just Sam and I in the studio here, and you got a trip to the Barossa Valley. What a great place to be.
Oh, you're not wrong, mate. Hey, did you watch the draft last night with interest, obviously, to see what the Crows would do? And were you happy that they got Max Michaelini?
Timmy, I've got a little story about Rowie, okay?
Oh, hello.
Because he might not have told you that he did star at the Christmas Carol show on Sunday night at the...
No, he did tell me.
Did he tell you?
I didn't.
Did he tell you?
He told me he did.
A great rendition of Good King Wenceslas.
Yes.
And look, there were a few squeaky notes, but we forgive that because he's only been and he was accompanied by the great James Morrison, who was.
I know.
I was listening. James came on later on when he had his little group, his little combo, and they were in the dressing room talking, and I was just sitting in the corner. They didn't know I was there.
No.
And James Morrison said, "Look, a week ago I was in Dresden, in Germany, playing with the best musicians in the world, and today I'm here on a Nord parade with Rowie."
That's a bit of a shame for him, isn't it?
He's a man for all seasons.
But look, it was a great night, and he plays with such great spirit, doesn't he? And Rowie, you're doing really well too, to be quite honest.
He is a genius, that man. To share the stage with him, albeit for 2 minutes, and hit a few squeaky notes.
Well, how was Conzi singing then?
Now Stud. Now Stud's a musician, so he plays guitar. And I'm sitting down next to him. He was next man on. I said to him, "Where's your guitar?" "Oh, no, I'm just singing." I said, "No, you're not." He said, "Yes, I am." I said, "Serious?" And he got up and what was your song, Stud?
Rocking around the Christmas tree, rocking around the
Christmas tree.
They wouldn't let me. No, they wouldn't let me play the guitar. They said no.
Oh, okay.
No, I took it to rehearsal. And they said, "No, don't bring it on Sunday." They said,
"Wow, no!"
But Dizzy Raymond puts on.
Dizzy Raymond's a star,
and the musicians are fantastic. To think that we can actually share the stage with them was.
We're not worthy, as you would say.
We're not worthy, but anyway.
Okay, let's talk about Max Michael-Annie. Come on.
Well, now,
what do you think?
The Crows did what they have to do, and he's going to be a fine young player, no doubt about that. But they had. When GWS bid on him, Sydney bid on him, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
When Sydney bid on him, the Crows had to take him, even though perhaps they wouldn't have wanted to take him at pick 17. But in terms of good faith, the fact that it was really the first one the first eligible father-son rule under the old system, when you think of all that, they had to do. He's probably not what they really need immediately. He'll turn into a fine young player, and Rowie, I heard you say comparing to Ben Hart. Well, you can see that. You can see there's talent there, but he's not the tall intercept defender. He's not the big, massive defender they probably need. They still need that, that big-bodied midfielder. But they've taken Isaac Rankin. They used pick 5 to get that, and they used their father-son rule to get Max. So it's going to be an interesting journey to follow. His dad was a great player, actually won, I reckon, the 75 grand final. He was a strong contributor to it. So the fact that actually his son could qualify to play for the Crows like 40 years later, well, it's nearly 50 years later, is absolutely amazing.
Isn't it?
I think they have to make a big deal about it. But
I think they will.
Whether he can play next year or whether he's ready, whether there's a spot for him in defence, is going to be, you have to see how that plays out. Did I enjoy the night? Yeah, it drags, doesn't it? It does drag.
We had a text message, Cornsey, that said that they basically taped it so that they could fast forward to the next pick.
Well, I've been doing that with some of the World Cup soccer games.
Yeah.
Sorry. But, I suppose you get an insight to the players. It was unfortunate there was only the one Crows player and no Port Adelaide player, so the interest here from Adelaide was probably was zero. Limited perhaps.
Yeah, I'd still say that it's really, other than those that are personally invested in the club, that club choice, or the family itself. It's
the
a hard watch.
Boring night in the world. It's not for TV. I'd rather just God.
Anyway,
stick pop sticks in my eyes.
No, you wouldn't.
Cornsey,
you're being silly.
Toothpicks.
Yeah, Cornsey, Matthias Filippo, he got picked up, of course, by St Kilda, but you reckon he's got to play for one of the South Australian teams? Why is that?
He's got to play for one of the South Australian teams.
What do you mean eventually?
Well, yeah, if not immediately. Well, that's not going to happen because he's been drafted.
No, he's at Saints.
But this is a third generation South Australian football star. His grandfather, his father, and he.
Peter. Yep.
I mean, it's just not right that he should have to go into state. Now I know he's happy, he's delighted. I heard his comments afterwards. To be coached by Ross Lyon is terrific. But when it all comes down to it, this is what footy clubs and footy teams are all about: being able to pass it from one generation to the next. The fact that he has to go into state to play, it's a bit like Matthew Pavlich having to go. If
the Crows are any good, they'd be into him straight away.
Well, to be fair, Woodville West Torrens is very close to Alberton, so makes sense. Does make sense, Graham.
I'm being completely unbiased here. Would Port Adelaide but he really needed to stay in South Australia, and he needs to come back to South Australia. Now, he doesn't need some sort of smart aleck commentator saying already getting back to South Australia because he wants to go and
he's got to establish himself, doesn't he?
Yes. But I mean, generational football I think it's really important. I mean, it used to be important in the old Sandford days, and I think it's still important in the AFL days.
Romance is dead in footy, Stud.
Yeah,
the AFL killed it because they turned it into the VFL.
Well, yeah, look, it probably is, but it doesn't mean we can't try and rekindle. We can't appeal to the emotion of a kid playing in the same state or.
Well, these generational picks does help that, doesn't it? Like Michael Annie and Filippo and the like. It does rekindle that nostalgia.
Anyway, good luck to Matt. Good luck to Matthias. It looks like he's prepared himself well. He seems confident. He's worked on his body and his fitness and his skills. So it'll be interesting to see whether he gets a run in his first season. I think he actually might.
Yeah. Hey, can we talk about the AFLW Grand Final? It was 2 goals apiece. That's a World Cup score.
Yeah.
2 rush points in the last quarter. Perfect conditions. Over 200 tackles. Talk about a snooze fest, and it's their highlight game.
Well, I wrote this topic down, and I thought, do I leave it in or do I cross it out? The AFLW Grand Final, was it a positive or negative advertisement for the game?
Negative.
Well,
Stud, they open that they want people like you, greats of the game, to comment fairly and openly and honestly how you see it. They'll get better, but right now it's not.
It wasn't a great spectacle. The game wasn't a great spectacle, but it was a close competitive game, and it had a great result. And I think at the end it was saved by Daisy Pearce, to be quite frank. Daisy Pearce's comment at the end. Now, who's making that noise?
Or someone's just walking in to buy a car.
Who's making that noise? That they don't agree with what I'm saying. Was that you?
Not me. No, I didn't make any noise.
I know you're used to people throwing things at you, Graham, but it's not happening here.
No.
They're just picking up a beautiful Tucson.
Cornsey can watch the live stream to see
Yeah,
your reaction
true.
if you agree.
There you go.
Disagree. Thanks to Phil, mate.
But I thought Daisy Pearce's speech was, and she's one of these girls who have been really invested in women's footy, and to see that her come through and the role she's had in establishing AFLW, helping to establish it, and to see her get that through, I thought that was, to me, that was the highlight. It was a close game, of course, but the highlight was her speech.
Hey, mate, we're in the Barossa, as you know, at the lovely Steinborner Hyundai. We actually got a call from a chap from Rovers.
I heard him.
Heard him? Yeah, right.
Now, you won't go. They'll be waiting. You won't go down and see.
We're not worried.
Straight home.
Stud, probably not.
But Graham, there's a thing.
Stud knows me really well.
There's a thing called theatre.
Yeah.
Come on, mate.
They're going to be waiting for.
Don't worry about whether Rowy's going to go there. Just worry if the AFL's going to go there.
Stud knows me too well.
Now, it looks like it was going to be Mount Barker over one of the grounds in the Barossa, because the Mount Barker precinct. Look, it is fantastic. Have either of you been up there to have a look at it?
Oh, it is probably the best ground in Adelaide.
Yeah, be up there Thursday.
Why can't they have one in the Barossa Valley? I understand why they
would
put it at Mount Barker, but why couldn't they have one in the Barossa as well? Because the Barossa is a fantastic location. You've got Bungahern, who's from there. It's heavily invested in with a football culture, as well as all the other attractions that they have up there. Surely they could have 2 games in the regional areas. Why not? How hard is it? How hard would it be?
Well, I don't know what AFL official was here that got their lunch cut, but the reason they were given that the ground was too skinny. Well, we brought up there's probably 2 games at Nord Oval. It's too skinny and too short. So how's that work?
There's other venues here, like Anguston and the like, that are big. That's a big deck.
They can't be any skinnier than Cardinia Park, surely.
Well, that's right. That's a very narrow ground.
And that's the home of the Premier. So no, that's very short-sighted. I think there's room for both.
Okay.
Anyway.
Are you enjoying the World Cup, Stud?
I am. I love. It's hard to sit and watch a whole game, isn't it? If there's not much, if there's not a lot of scores. But I was enthralled for the Australian game, and you know why they won?
No.
You know, as compared to the game against France,
Because they kicked more goals?
No, they scored. He didn't kick a goal. He scored it with his head, Timmy.
Right. Okay. Beautiful.
They played like Aussies. They probably weren't as talented as the Tunisians, but they played like Aussies, and by that I mean they were desperate. Their midfield, their second and third efforts were terrific. They got back quickly into the box. They were disciplined in the penalty area. They didn't give away any penalties. The Tunisians had more shots on goals. I think our goalkeeper was superb,
outstanding.
So I mean, it was a great, it was an Aussie, a fair dinkum Aussie effort. Now they'll need that and more in their next game, of course. But there's a chance they can't sit back and think it's just going to happen.
No, come on, you.
They'll get through. Don't worry, Graham. You sit there, have a little cup of tea, mate. We're going to come back and ask you just who your favourite cricket character of all time is.
You won't guess.
All right, I'll have a crack.
Guess, but
might even have to ask Cornsey, if the Aussies don't make it, who will he support in the World Cup?
Do that.
We're going to take a short break. We'll check the traffic for you shortly. Steinborner Barossa Hyundai here in Nuriyutpa. That is where we are broadcasting live from. The man in charge here is Daryl Pearce.
The Iceman.
The Iceman.
Yes.
I thought it was not sure if he's as good as the Daryl Pearce, but we'll find out.
Well, I heard better.
We'll get a ball and we'll have a look in one of the breaks. We should say too, for Make-A-Wish Foundation, you've got your big ride coming up this weekend.
Yeah, North Point Traders Roby's Ride to Rusden. It is for Make-A-Wish. It is a dinner for you and 9 mates at Jarmer's Kitchen. It's world class. It'll be brilliant. It's me hosting with 36ers players, a couple of crows if you want to do it. You got a bid, 822300.
Did, but before I do that,
55. It's held with Daniel at Ross Trevor at $1,500. It was well over $2,000 last year. Get the bids coming in, 82230055, and you can donate. Just head to robysride.com.au. Every cent goes towards wishes.
And Timmy will sing Daniel before the show finishes if he is successful with that bid. Let's check the traffic for your drive home.
At Somerton Park, at a crash, Brighton Road, at Oaklands Road, St Peters, another crash there, Stephen Terrace near 5th Lane, while at Bolivar, another smash slowing things up north-south motorway near the Hodgson Road roundabout. Got a few roads closed at the east end of the city for the Adelaide 500, including Hutt Street and East Terrace. Avoid that if you can on the drive home. And look out for a camera, Stanley Street at Leabrook. It's Nespresso's Black Friday sale. Get up to 50 free pre-selected coffee capsules when you buy any 240 capsules or more. Ends today, while stocks last. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
Great food lives in Foodland. The mighty South Aussies, yeah.
Farmers. FIVEAA Milk Company produces real milk the way it used to taste. And because it's so local, it can be straight from a farm to your table within hours.
FIVEAA Milk Company, our business of the week on 1395 Adelaide's 5AA.
I'm Kathy Nagel, Chief Executive of Western Hospital, Henley Beach. Did you know Western Hospital conducts weight loss surgery? We all know increased weight can contribute to many other chronic diseases, as well as emotional health. Weight loss surgery may be able to help, and you may be surprised how affordable this is and the short length of your hospital stay. We encourage healthy eating habits and weight, but when this cannot be achieved, there may be another option. For more information about weight loss surgery, visit westernhospital.com.au.
G'day, Jim. How was your stay in the all-new Riverview Villa at the Berry Hotel?
Oh, Pete, it was very nice.
Berry? Do you mean very, mate?
No, I mean very nice. The Berry Hotel's all-new villas have very comfy beds, very nice waterfront dining, and I played a pretty good round of golf too.
Don't you mean very good round of golf, mate?
Nah, it wasn't that good.
The Berry Hotel, just a couple of hours from Adelaide. It's the very perfect place for your summer getaway. Book now at berryhotel.com.au. These new waterfront villas are booking very fast.
Landlords, every day your rental property is vacant, it's costing you money.
If you're a landlord looking for a quality tenant, Toop & Toop's CEO of Property Management, Susanna Toop, can point you in the right direction.
Absolutely. We have just launched a new innovation for our clients. Toop & Toop landlords can now secure a tenant up to 2 months in advance and before their property becomes vacant.
This new innovation allows landlords to tap into our extensive pre-screened tenant network. We know who is actively looking for rental properties across Adelaide, and we are giving our clients access to this valuable information.
So you can start looking for a quality tenant without incurring advertising costs?
That's right, it's the perfect way to find your next tenant, ahead of time. On average, we meet over 600 tenants at our open homes each month, and it's not only landlords that benefit, it's great for tenants too. Toop and Toop is giving tenants the opportunity to secure a home up to 2 months sooner and before they become publicly available.
To register, simply head to toop.com.au/rent.
A shock absorber, CV joint, or maybe a bearing kit. It may seem like just a four-wheel-drive part, but open it up and you'll find so much more. Each terrain tamer four-wheel drive part is the culmination of 50 years of experience. Every break, every lesson, every setback far from home strengthens everything we do. So when you break down miles from home and you drag out our number, you'll know you're in safe hands. That's the Terrain Tamer connection, and it comes free with every part.
Speak with One Solution and they'll tell you cybercrime is not a big business problem, a government problem, or a small enterprise problem. It's everyone's problem. Ransomware, malware, and adware remain the #1 threat. One call to One Solution will put your business in a safe place. It's the smartest, most cost-effective business decision you'll ever make. Get in touch with One Solution, winner of the National Telstra Customer Experience Award. onesolution.net.au.
Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA approved caravan crash repairer.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Bit of Moni, 25 minutes after 5. Here at the Barossa Valley, we are at Steinborner Barossa Hyundai in Noorat Park. Graham Corns is here before the break. Cornsy was talking about the World Cup and how the Aussies were playing like the Aussies. But Cornsy, if the Aussies aren't there, who are you supporting?
Oh, this is... I'd love to see one of the African teams win. Maybe England. I know we don't normally like the Poms, but...
haven't won one since '66. That's the only one they've won.
I think I'd probably be barracking for England if they get close. What about you guys?
No, I'm going Portugal. One because my mother's background's Portuguese, but they haven't won one either.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
When Australia's out, I'm out. That's how I roll.
Whoa, there you go.
I can't barrack for anyone else.
You'll have to watch the final, though, sure.
No, I will, but I'm not going to barrack for anyone.
Once the game, it's like watching the Super Bowl. If you haven't got when the game starts, you always end up supporting somebody. Maybe England, but they're going to self-destruct. You know that, don't you?
Oh, that's hard.
You wait and see.
If there was an African country, which one would you? Is it a Cameroon or a Ghana?
Yeah, I love it.
What are you thinking?
They're so colourful, and their strips are always colourful. They play with like an abandon that's. I was going to say gay abandon. It's probably not really that appropriate if you know what I mean. But they play with the spontaneity, which is not normally contained. I mean, they're probably not great defensively, but. I don't know. It really is a great tournament. There's no doubt about it.
By that answer, it sounds like you're going to be confused.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, at least he's honest.
Hey, mate, I did see the article. Yeah, I saw the article the other day about this competition they're running about who's going to be Australia's favourite cricket character. Now, you said I wouldn't guess.
No, you won't.
Can I just get the decade the player was in?
No, it's going back. Because you know who's going to win it, Dave? Warnie's going to win it by a mile.
Yeah, by a mile.
Or Dougie Walters will have say hello.
I'm going to guess Keith Miller.
Oh, well, there you go. Didn't have to.
Did I get it?
This is what I had. Charismatic, heroic, handsome.
Yep, he was
talented, and they were the clues I was going to give you.
Princess Margaret.
Did I say? I was going to say bedded, but dined with royalty. Was close to Princess Margaret, but you guessed it before I even gave you the clues. Keith Miller.
Keith Miller. I didn't need clues. Nugget Miller.
Hey, so hang on. I've been watching The Crown with Jodie. Princess Margaret got in that. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she was.
No, she.
Well, hang on, mate. Hang on, that's a bit harsh.
No, but the actress that played it portrayed her as a pure beauty. So you're saying she wasn't a beauty?
No, I think she was charismatic and attractive. But
Very.
I'm so disappointed with the casting of this series of The Crown.
The latest one.
The latest one.
The latest one. I agree totally.
You're talking about the latest one, Rowie?
No, he's talking about the early one.
No, I just watched
He's
a little
about
bit
the early
with Jodie and every now. Well, I tend to agree. I mean, Prince Charles, if you're going to cast someone, he's got to have big flapper ears.
Yeah, the casting in this latest one was not good.
Not good.
Besides probably Diana, the rest of them, no good, I don't reckon. So, no, I'm with you on that, Graham, without a doubt. But Nugget Miller, and you said hero, because he was obviously a fighter pilot in the Second World War as well, wasn't he?
Flew in the Battle of Britain, and that's why he always felt more at home in England at Lord's because they adored him because they appreciated what he'd done.
Hard not to. Mine's Dougie Walters.
Well, there's a great call.
Yeah, that's true. But he was a bit of a larrikin, wasn't he? But
yeah, that's why I loved him.
All right, here's one left field.
Go on.
You know, I loved Gary Gilmore.
Gary Gilmore.
Oh, the worst bowling action in the world.
Oh, Wilden Will. No, that's Max Walker.
That
You're
was
thinking
Max
of.
Walker.
No,
Gary Gilmore had a
left
shocker
armour,
too, didn't
left
he?
armour, beautiful bowler, swing bowler, and a big hitter. Gary Gilmore, Gus Gilmore, what a legend.
We're getting a lot of David Hooks. I could see that.
Hooksy, fair enough too.
In fact, I should have had him up there as well. But
great call.
Of course, Hooksy. But you'd think Warney would actually win by a mile if it's
DK Lilly.
DK Lilly, another one.
You've almost got to take Warney, DK Lilly, those sort of blokes out, don't you?
Because they are standalones.
Too good. Yeah.
They are standalones.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Graham, as usual, mate, an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much, sir, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Yeah, we'll drive safely on the way back, guys. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm going to the footy club. North Point Traders Rowy's Ride to Rusden's for Makers. Make-A-Wish Foundation, $1,500. Daniel at Ross Trevor has the bid. It's a dinner for you and 9 mates at Jarman's Kitchen. It's upstairs, it's private. There'll be Rusden Black Guts. There'll probably be Rockford Basket Press.
Oh, yeah.
Because Chris is so generous. He put 2 of them bang straight down on the table. Value is priceless. Well, last year it was around $3,000.
Yeah.
822 300 55. Every cent goes towards my charity, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and you can donate to by heading to rowiesride.com.au. So let's get that up, okay?
Yes.
Yep.
It's a great night.
I'll tell stories.
I think we walked out at about 1 o'clock.
If you bid enough, I won't tell stories.
And if it needs to be a Crows player, pick your favourite one and I'll make sure they're there.
Chris will put on his Stormtrooper helmet.
Yeah, he does.
He'll do all of that and more. So go to 8223 0055. Remember, end of the day, you are supporting the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I just had a quick idea before we get to the news on the other side, Craig Lowndes. I'm going to pitch to the boss that you 3 do a show on 5AA about the Crown.
Wow.
You 2 and Graham, just talking about it, taking calls. I reckon that would be...
Have you been watching it?
I don't watch it.
Oh, it's terrible.
Not the latest one or the new one?
You're so passionate. All 3 of you are so passionate about it.
I loved it. No.
Have you watched every single one?
Watched every single one, and I'm
with
into
Angela,
the
you've
last
actually
series.
sat there.
See, Graham's turned his light back on, Ponzi.
I'll tell you the one that was really good. One about Dodi El Fayed, the guy who bought Harrods.
Yeah, Harrods.
That was a really fascinating episode, I thought. But
yes, it was.
Great, there is a show in
this. The quality is there. I agree with the story.
But how true is it?
Pretty
very
true.
close to the bone.
Is it?
Very close to the bone.
All right. Coming soon to 5AA, The Crown.
Okay.
Rowie, Tim Ginniver, Graham Corns. Thank you, Gonzi. We'll see you next week. Craig Lowndes has been sitting listening to all of that. He's next.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamarek. The race is on to notify people in low-lying areas along the Murray that they'll soon be flooded. The Firefighters Union says a strike threatening to cripple airports can be averted if more staff are employed. Liberal MP Bridget Archer will cross the floor in federal parliament to support Labor's censure motion against Scott Morrison, and heavyweights Brazil and Portugal have qualified for the knockout stage of the FIFA World Cup. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Got a couple of crashes to look at from the drive home. You find one at Somerton Park, Brighton Road at Oaklands Road. St Peter's, another one there, Stephen Terrace near 5th Lane, and another smash at Morford Vale, Main South Road at O'Sullivan's Beach Road. Got road closures for the Adelaide 500 affecting traffic flow at the moment, including Hutt Street and East Terrace, and look out for a camera, Port Road and Aldinga. Hurry, the Good Guys Black Friday sale ends tonight. Don't miss the Black Friday deals, including a last chance one-day deal that's just been unlocked. Shop now in-store or online. Adelaide's most accurate traffic guide, 5AA.
Mostly clear tonight, a low of 11, sunny tomorrow 24. Currently it's 19 degrees. More news at 6 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
5AA Breakfast. Language now has no meaning. The World Health Organisation will start referring to monkeypox as Mpox. The move prompted by concerns over racist and stigmatising language. It came from monkeys. Actual monkeys.
Have monkeys been reading the paper and getting upset?
Informing Adelaide. So can you not refer to monkeys as monkeys anymore?
Maybe not. Maybe that's where we'll end up.
What a load of rubbish.
It is absurd, isn't it?
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
Patience really does pay off, especially if you've been holding out for a shiny new Volkswagen Tiguan or Touareg. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen is now receiving truckloads of new Volkswagens, including the confident and clever Tiguan and the luxurious Touareg with a whopping 3.5-ton towing capacity. Secure a great price and take delivery before Christmas. Remember Mawson Lakes Volkswagen for servicing too, with next day servicing and free loan cars. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
It's time to discover authentic beauty. Let Silver Sea and Phil Hoffman Travel take you closer to the hidden parts of the world. With over 25 years' experience, Silver Sea have been creating all-inclusive luxury cruise holidays to unforgettable destinations. Your intimate luxury cruise ship offers personalised service, beverages throughout the cruise and gourmet dining. Book with Phil Hoffman Travel and receive an exclusive $1,000 per person air credit off select European cruises. Visit pht.com.au.
G'day, it's Eddie May from NRG Solar. More and more South Australians are taking control of their energy bills with solar and battery storage. In fact, Australians are taking up battery storage in record numbers because they're sick of rising power bills and being locked into a system where someone else calls the shots. The other huge bonus of going with NRG Solar and battery storage is that you'll be protected by blackouts with an uninterrupted power supply. Take control. Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
Mum says I can be anything I want to be.
8-year-old Sophie is so determined to learn. But like 1 in 6 Australian children, she lives in poverty. This blocks Sophie's progress as she doesn't have everything she needs for school. Like all children, Sophie deserves the chance to be whatever she wants to be. You can help Sophie get the extra learning support she needs to reach her potential. Please, change the life of a child this Christmas. Search the Smith family.
You don't just do a good barbie, you're the Tong Master, the Backyard Hospitality Director, and you deserve the very best outdoor kitchen from Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. Create a new benchmark in cooking. Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens are experts at custom concrete bench tops. Call for a consultation and quote today or visit the Seaford Meadows showroom on Farrow Circuit and you'll be entertaining next year while the weather is still warm. Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens for custom concrete bench tops, appliances, barbies and more. AdelaideOutdoorKitchens.com.au.
Scraped your caravan? Your insurance should cover that. Speak to Walker Crash Repairs and let them fix it.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
24 minutes to 6.
Oh, great song.
Spirit in the Sky. Broadcasting live from Steinborner Barossa Hyundai here in Nooriyutpa. If you're in the market for a new car, come and see Daryl and the great team. They'll look after you, including the Hyundai Tucson Turbo Diesel. It's all-wheel drive performance and innovative tech. Hey, speaking of cars, this is the week for it. The supercars are here at 23 to 6.
Well, the Velo 500 starts Thursday. It's back, Timmy. Can't wait. Joining us is former supercar superstar Craig Lowndes. Lowndesy, we're back in Adelaide. How good?
Oh, it's absolutely great to be back. And to be honest, I've had a look at the circuit and it looks fantastic. It looks better than ever. So really, they've done a fantastic job. All the organisers and everyone's been involved to actually get it, like the construction of it, but also to resurface the whole area and get all that side of it ready. It really looks magnificent.
Yeah. Did we see you driving an F1 on Sunday? So you've been on it?
Yeah, we had a little run in a Formula One. It was actually a Footworks Formula One, which was run here back in '94. It's a '94 Formula One car, so it's got a bit of history from this track as well. And it was a bit nice. It was a sort of a shorter loop, but it was good to see again. As I say, all the grandstands up and running, and basically it's going to be, weather-wise, it's going to be fantastic. So it's going to be a huge crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very exciting to be back. Now, a little bit of history, mate. You won the inaugural Adelaide 500 here all those years ago in '99. What's it going to be like this time? Any different?
I think, well, to be honest, back then it was very different. The cars were different, and I think this event really showcased how difficult to drive a circuit and the length of the track around here was. The 500 kilometres, 250 on Saturday, then the same on Sunday. It was really difficult back then, and we've evolved the cars. We've involved basically the driver's fitness and everything else. And I've been telling some of the Super 2 guys that we help out that how bumpy the track is. And then when I come here, they've resurfaced everything, so it's basically going to be very smooth. But there's no doubt it's going to be really tough. It really has marked basically raised the bar. I should say, it's probably a better way of saying it. When it first got introduced in '99. How difficult, as I said, to race around the streets of Adelaide.
The Holden, it's one of those sad moments we say farewell, but there's a terrific parade happening. Are you getting involved in that at all?
Yeah, we're going to actually head up the parade from Elizabeth to the circuit, and that's something that, you're right. It's a bit sad to close a chapter on one side of it, but then again, you've got to look to the future, and we'll actually get an opportunity also to drive the Gen 3 Camaro over the weekend and to showcase to people what the future is going to look like, the new Mustang, the new Camaro. And I can say we're currently building new Gen 3 cars for next year already and in preparation of that. And it really is. It's going to be great to have a big send-off for the Holden fans here. And I'm very close to, obviously, the brand as well as the Elizabeth when it was manufacturing the cars as well. So it's something that, as I said, it's going to be great to basically head up that run, that tribute run to this racetrack. And I believe there's about 1,500 cars involved. So a lot of support here.
Just with those Holden supporters, do you think they'll go towards the Gen 3s next year? Will that be the changing landscape?
Well, it's going to be interesting next year with new cars and everything else. It's got less downforce and I think that really it's going to be closer racing, and that's where it's going to be a driver's car. To really, for me, when I drive the car, and I've had a number of opportunities to do that, to really feel the difference in what they're currently running to what they are running, or will be running, next year. It's almost like going back in time with sort of the VT, the VS era, mid-90s, where the cars move around, doesn't have as much downforce. I think it's going to be quite exciting for fans to see the cars running around.
Red v Blue, Holden v Ford. We're a Holden town here. We made them for years. Mustang v Camaro. It's going to take me a bit to get used to that, Lounsey.
Well, it is, but it's a changing the guards. I think unfortunately, it's we don't have manufacturing here in Australia. Ford left, and then of course now Holden, and we move into sort of the Ford Mustang and the GM Camaro. But I've got to say that the cars sound great. They look fantastic. They both look really mean. Their presence on track is going to be fantastic. It's just the way, unfortunately, the way that the world's going.
Who's the track favour?
Oh, that's a good question. You've got probably half a dozen drivers in the current field at the moment that've never actually raced around the streets of Adelaide. So it's going to be tough for those guys. And as I said, we've been working with our Super 2 guys, with Cam Hill and Declan Fraser, and they haven't been here either. So to try to explain how the temperature inside the cabins of the car, which we talk about 25 degrees hotter, but in a place like this with concrete walls, it goes up probably to 30 degrees hotter inside cabins of temperature. Turn 8, the infamous Turn 8 that we all talk about, being a car cruncher, the hard braking, everything else. It's going to be really interesting. I think that the circuit at the moment, as I said, with the new surfacing, it's probably going to be about maybe a second and a half faster than what we saw here in 2019. So again, it's going to be harder on drivers, harder on cars. But then you look at the form guide at the moment, Shane Van Gisbergen's on form. Chaz Mostert's always had great racing here. Will Davison, Cam Waters, you can roll off probably, again, another half a dozen drivers and car combinations. It's going to be really fast over the weekend.
And Lounsey, do you think, once upon a time it was in March, Mad March here in Adelaide, and now it's the last event on the calendar. Do you think that brings about a different feel altogether? And of course, you finish it off with the Barry Sheen medal on the Monday?
Yeah, so this is almost like for me going back in time. Like I ran here in '95 when it was the Formula One race, and it was the last event of the season. And so for me, it's and probably for the older generation drivers, it's a little bit going back in time, having now being the grand final of the season. And I think that it's fantastic weather-wise. It's always great here. Fans and the event always capture so much energy. The concerts, everything that goes on around this time of year, it's really fantastic. So, then we go into our gala, the big grand final, the gala on Monday night, which we haven't had for the last couple of years, again, with COVID. So, again, just to sort of get into that mode, once we finish with the racing, get into our black ties, and the girls and the wives and partners all get dressed up, I think, to really celebrate a year that was. It really has started to get back to some normality throughout the year with crowds and everything else coming back to circuits.
You did mention the concerts there. Are you more sort of Baker Boy, Lime Cordial, or Noise Works and Barnsey?
More the latter, more Barnsey.
Fair enough, we'll see you there.
Yeah, I'm not a Killers fan, nor am I. Hey, just before we let you go, are you driving any of the support cars this weekend?
No, not doing any racing side of it this weekend. Just more behind the mic again, and I'm really looking forward to it because you know, as a driver or a former driver, how grueling this circuit is, and I can't underestimate or tell people how much energy you lose physically, mentally around this circuit, and I'm really looking forward to seeing these current drivers get to grips with this circuit, and as I said, the resurfacing, the corner speeds are going to be higher and faster, so more load on the body. I'll be interested to see how they get through Saturday, but then more importantly, come back Sunday and then have to walk into the circuit knowing that you've got 78 laps, 250 kilometres to get through again. That's when the soreness, you start thinking about blisters on your feet, on your hands, your sore back, everything else. That's the mental challenge the drivers are going to have to overcome.
Lownsy, great to have you and the Tin Tops back. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much, guys. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a ripper. The Velo 500 starts Thursday, and Craig Lowndes was our guest. Can I give it another... Am I getting better at that?
I was actually thinking when you said, is he going to drive, that he's sitting there going, no, I'm not. And you know what? They can suffer in their job.
Yeah, they will. Craig Lowndes, our guest.
It's so lifelike, that sound effect too. I like it.
No, you don't.
I do.
You're just being nice.
I genuinely like it. And of course, we're here in Barossa. We're here at Steinborner Barossa Hyundai. You saw the cars today, Timmy. So it's really upon us now.
I think that's what makes you tingle, is the excitement's coming to town, and there were just Pantech after Pantech coming through with all the different racing teams, and I was like, how good's this? This is awesome. And I couldn't believe they got a police escort.
Yeah. Well, the state comes alive with this, and to think we've got all these concerts, the Killers. Who's on tonight?
The Thursday night is Baker Boy.
No, but who's on tonight? There's a concert
Guns N' Roses.
Well, Guns N' Roses. You see all the private jets flying. Well, I love that in town.
It's all happening.
It's all happening.
So you see the people walk the streets in the red or the blue. So all the Holden fans will be out in force for this one, the last one, which will be massive. Yeah. Craig Lowndes always giving off his time, and we look forward to the race.
Okay, $1,500, Daniel. The bid is with you from Ross Trevor. We thank you. It is our North Point Toyota Roey's ride to Rusden, my ride with Timmy, who's going to be in the support car. Because he's done his hammer and tack. Did you get up and go for a walk? You look like an old man.
Yes, and I am a grandfather, so
yeah, you are, like me.
I qualify.
It is for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's a dinner for you and 9 mates, so that's 10 of you. It's in a private room upstairs at Jarmer's Kitchen. Chris will privately cook for us, which is outstanding. There'll be beautiful reds, including the Rusden Black Guts, which I will bring. So it's me. There'll be a host of 36s, which are brilliant in themselves.
Yeah.
If you've got a favourite Crows player, I'll invite them. Come along. I'll put you right next to them if you want.
Yeah.
Well, as long as it's not Rory or Tex or...
a few cages.
I'll invite them. They may not come.
I'll invite them. Have you got I can get an ex-Crow with Jimmy. Jimmy will come.
If you've got a favourite movie star. Just let me know.
Yeah, let me know. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, I'll invite them. I'll invite them.
Get the bid to 5,000.
You want Barack Obama there? I'll invite him.
Yeah, Neil Diamond will sing in the corner.
Good Lord.
Yeah, all right, 8223 0055. Auction closes 6:30. Well done. And please keep those donations coming in. We're so generous with that towards the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Log on to rubbish.com.au.
You had such heart in that, it just went a little pear-shaped. After the traffic, we're going to get to some of your calls, but first here's what's happening on the roads.
Dernacourt, look out for a crash. Lions Road at Balmoral Road. Got debris on the road there. Somerton Park, another collision. Brighton Road at Oaklands Road, and another smash. This one's at St Peters, Stephen Terrace near 5th Lane. Got a few roads closed for the Adelaide 500, including Bartels Road and Hutt Street. Avoid that for any delays on the drive home. And we've got cameras, Main South Road, Huntfield Heights, and Old Honeypot Road at Port Noarlunga. Say yeah, nah to Qatar and yes to Sportsbet, the easiest place to bet this World Cup. Download the Sportsbet app today. Gamble responsibly. 1-800-858-858. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
G'day, Rowie here. No doubt you've heard I'm pulling on the Lycra again for the North Point Toyota Rowie's Ride to Rusden for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. On Saturday, 3rd of December, I'll be joined by 20 cyclists on an epic ride from Adelaide to Rusden Winery in the Barossa. We'd really love your support so we can grant cherished wishes to children with life-threatening illnesses. Keep listening to 5AA for info about how you can support. It's all thanks to North Point Toyota and 1395 Adelaide's 5AA.
Hi Calvin, it's Michael from Automasters here. I've just got your car on the hoist and I just wanted to show you.
Now you can see what we see.
The engine oil is very low. I'll just show you that now.
Autocam.
This is your cabin filter. As you can see, a fair bit of dust and dirt.
Real-time video sent direct to you from your Automasters technician.
You can see the outside of the throttle body's nice and clean. The inside here.
See any issue firsthand. How good. Real-time reporting with instant SMS approval. Call 1300 Automasters. Great service guaranteed.
Stay protected from the sun and remember the 3 S's. Slip, slop, slap. Remember the 3 B's too. Bob Burns Blinds. Protect your home and family and get set for summer now with 30 to 50% off selected items at Bob Burns Blinds. That's 30 to 50% off our gorgeous range of window furnishings, including custom-made zip screen outdoor blinds. Get set for summer at Bob Burns Blinds with 30 to 50% off selected items. Book your free measure and quote today. bobburnsblinds.com.au.
Hey Strikers fans, TK here. Don't miss a minute of BBO action this summer. Remember these dates. Wednesday, December the 14th, our season opener against the Sydney Sixers at Adelaide Oval. Also, my birthday. Next up, it's the big one, December 31st. Adelaide's biggest New Year's Eve party returns to Adelaide Oval. You're all invited, but get your tickets quick as they're selling fast. For tickets to all BBL matches, visit adelaidestrikers.com.au and I'll see you back at Adelaide Oval this summer.
This Christmas, tens of thousands of Aussie families will be facing impossible choices. Feed their children, buy medication, or pay rent to keep a roof over their heads. Donate today to provide emergency cost of living relief so Aussie families aren't forced over the edge and into homelessness. Your generosity can provide urgent relief for a family who's doing it tough this Christmas and give hope for a better future. Support struggling families this Christmas by searching for Vinnie's Christmas Appeal and donate today.
There's no right way to celebrate Christmas, but there is a right place. Somewhere to be surrounded by friendly faces and free to celebrate Christmas your way. With a range of flexible private spaces, the Novotel Barossa Valley Resort is the perfect destination for any group's festive getaway. Feast on a mouth-watering 3-course menu or buffet while feasting your eyes on stunning Barossa Valley views. Request a proposal for this year's Christmas celebrations today at novotelbarossa.com.
Be ready for life's ups and downs with Bupa. Get extras cover from under $3.50 a week. Search Bupa Extras Cover. Bupa, because life happens. Based on Freedom 50 extras, including base tier for a single aged under 65. Waiting periods may apply.
I booked the car into Automasters. Next thing, there's a video on my phone.
He shows me the problem, makes a recommendation, and look, there's the quote.
So good. Totally transparent. Instant SMS approval and Automasters pay later options.
Autocam, new from Automasters.
Scraped your caravan? Don't worry. Call Walker Crash Repairs, your RAA approved caravan crash repairer.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
8 minutes to 6, broadcasting from Steinborn and Barossa Hyundai here in Nuruyut. Speaking of riding, we have
Don't do that. Don't do Nuruyut. Like that knob.
What?
Isn't it?
It's the name of the town.
Oh, is it? Okay.
People of Nuruyut hate when you call it Nuruyupta.
Yeah, they don't like
you
that.
put the T and the P around the wrong way.
Yeah, I used to think, that bloke that writes in the paper and...
Peter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Peter, if you're listening, good evening. $1,700 is our new bid.
Oh, yes.
Johnny from Suburb Unknown, $1,700 to go to Jarvis.
Johnny, thank you.
Heard the invites. And speaking of riding the Santos Tour, is back next year. Tim is excited to be strapping on the Lycra. Once he is out of traction and he can move, he will be on the bike.
I've spoken to Carly Taylor and she's got me on a proper program.
Okay.
83-kilometre challenge tour. You can join Timmy in the FIVEAA peloton. If you have what it takes, head to our win page. Let us know why you should make the cut. We'll find out very soon. The Santos Tour Down Under Challenge Tour returns. Ride the UCI World Tour stage before the pros do. Friday,
I've done it. It's brilliant.
You're warming it up for them.
It
Friday, the 20th of January, tourdownunder.com.au.
Stuart O'Grady designed.
Nice.
Yeah, you will love it. It's great fun.
Go to the phones. We've got Morris on the line. G'day, Morris. You got a thought about the Magic Round?
Yeah, I have. I just wanted to ask Rowie if he could just stop pushing Norwood and start pushing Glenelg. There's absolutely no reason to be pushing Norwood. Sick of it. Sick of hearing about it. And the reasons are, Norwood, you can't have it there. They don't have a tram that goes to all parts of the city and hooks up with the train. They don't even have a beach.
True.
They don't have the sunset on the water.
No.
They don't have a jetty. They don't have jetty road.
No.
They don't have pubs where you can get a pint under $25, if you ask me. They don't have the history They don't have the history
You were
of cricket
going well
being
there,
played
Morris.
history of cricket being played there while Adelaide Oval was being upgraded. They don't have turf that was put in under Les Burdett's advice. They don't have a car park. They don't even have their own club song, cert. They don't have the history of the best grand final of all time at Adelaide Oval. They don't have the Redlegs Club anymore. They don't have a picket fence. They don't have a tourism focus. They don't have hotel accommodation. They don't have the proximity to the airport. And they don't have a big enough oval. They've got a brick wall. Right?
Morris,
Yes.
Morris, you done?
Look, no, I've got plenty more on the list here.
the mayor of Belfast.
Maury, I'll give you a $50 powers voucher because that was entertaining and you put a little bit of work in it.
A lot of work.
I actually haven't pushed Norwood. I'm actually questioning why they've picked Norwood.
Yeah.
I wanted it at the Barossa. I loved it in Nuruyut or Tanunda. I want it in the regions. I'd love it to go way down south. Even I don't think as far as Mount Gambier, but maybe Robe. I don't think they can do that. The Adelaide Hills, there's some beautiful grounds. If it went down south, Norwood Oval, I've said it 100 times, is too small. But one thing we don't do at Norwood, Morris, is sack our coaches, and we're led to believe that's exactly what Glenelg's done to Brett Hand.
Really?
Yeah.
They've sent him on his way.
Already?
Well, yeah.
We spoke about it last night.
Yeah,
it wasn't official, was it?
Well, it's not official, but that is the mail, and we rang the CEO, and he didn't comment, and I think their chairman, Peter Carey, has made a couple little comments, but, I mean, he's a mate of mine. I played with Brett Hand. I know the family. We know the connections through at Norwood, and he's done.
Gee whiz. That is controversial.
So, Morris, at least we don't sack our coach in contract.
There you go.
Hello, Dougie.
Yeah, good day, guys. I just wanted to comment on Craig Lowndes. I was lucky enough to meet him going back quite some years, and anyone I know who's met Lowndes, he says how he's a top bloke, and every time I hear him on your show, he just gives so much. And I think so many other sports can lack that a little bit, but like V8 supercar drivers, they promote their sport so well. They're so good to their fans. Got all the time in the world to sign autographs and all the rest of it. So, yeah, credit
There's
to
nothing
Lowndes.
pretentious about them, is there, Doug?
Oh, I love them.
They are magnificent in their approach to it.
Yeah,
but Dougie,
absolutely.
how come the tin top drivers are so approachable and great, yet the F1s are up themselves?
Oh, well, I guess that would be like comparing Adelaide United to Manchester United, wouldn't it? So, yeah
probably.
It's a huge pay gap. It's a huge...
So money means you can be a snob. Money means you can be
maybe,
aloof.
but Doug,
money means you can just...
To be fair, Daniel Ricciardo was pretty. He's out there. He's a bit like a supercar
They're a lot
driver.
more open now, the Formula Ones, than they ever were. We've been on this show a long time. They are the best of all sports V8s.
Absolutely.
They will jump out of the car and talk to you.
The best.
AFL players won't talk to you
Spot
on
on,
the day
Doug.
of a game.
Spot on, Doug.
I'm only here so I don't get fined.
They will talk to you before they jump in a car and go flog 60 laps around the mountain.
They are brilliant.
Amazing, aren't they?
Incredible.
And look what it's done to their sport. Fantastic.
Yep.
Being accessible.
And we love the fact that it is here in Adelaide. We're going to take a break on the other side. Matthew Hayden is going to join us because not only do we have the V8s and the Supercars returning this week, but we have Test cricket. That's tomorrow. Haydos next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
Christmas is covered with Paxton Wines. Visit their rustic cellar door in McLaren Vale and pick up a few bottles of the perfect Christmas drop. Keep listening for more great gift ideas. Merry Christmas from 5AA.
A shock absorber, CV joint, or maybe a bearing kit. It may seem like just a four-drive part, but open it up and you'll find so much more. Each Terrain Tamer four-wheel drive part is the culmination of 50 years of experience. Every break, every lesson, every setback far from home strengthens everything we do. So when you break down miles from home and you drag out our number, you'll know you're in safe hands. That's the Terrain Tamer connection, and it comes free with every part.
Blockbuster movies are back, and so are Wallace Christmas Cine Savers. Only $60 for 5 movie tickets. Or why not give a Wallace Christmas gift card? Christmas is a time of giving, and what better gift than a day at the movies? Support local and share a fabulous cinema experience with friends and family. Christmas shopping done. On sale until the 24th of December. Buy in cinema or online. Mitcham, Mount Barker, Noarlunga, Gawler and Piccadilly. North Adelaide reopening December 15. Wallace.com.au.
Mum says I can be anything I want to be.
8-year-old Sophie is so determined to learn. But like 1 in 6 Australian children, she lives in poverty. This blocks Sophie's progress, as she doesn't have everything she needs for school. Like all children, Sophie deserves the chance to be whatever she wants to be. You can help Sophie get the extra learning support she needs to reach her potential. Please, change the life of a child this Christmas. Search the Smith family.
Speak with One Solution and they'll tell you cybercrime is not a big business problem, a government problem, or a small enterprise problem. It's everyone's problem. Ransomware, malware, and adware remain the #1 threat. One call to One Solution will put your business in a safe place. It's the smartest, most cost-effective business decision you'll ever make. Get in touch with One Solution, winner of the National Telstra Customer Experience Award. onesolution.net.au.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly clear tonight, a low of 11 with the 6 o'clock news. I'm Michaela Kamarek. Police have started doing door-to-door, making sure hundreds of River Murray properties are prepared for flooding. Police Commissioner Grant Stevens says there'll be no forced evacuations.
The information we have indicates that the vast majority of people are taking those steps, but out of an abundance of caution, these visits are being undertaken to make sure that nobody's finding themselves in a situation where they don't have a plan for alternative accommodation in the event that their property is flooded.
An emergency relief centre opened in Berry this morning. A second in Mannum will open by the end of the week and a third in Murray Bridge next week. Planes could be grounded at major airports across the country on Friday next week. Airport-based firefighters will strike for 4 hours, claiming 100 staff have been cut over 2 years. The union says Air Services Australia is putting passenger safety at risk. An opposition MP will join the federal government in formally censuring Scott Morrison. Bridget Archer will cross the floor in Parliament, arguing the multiple ministry scandal diminished her party. The rest of the coalition will vote against it, saying there's no evidence the former Prime Minister broke the law. But Ms Archer says integrity is a key issue.
I think the question is not about Scott Morrison as a person, and this motion I don't believe should be seen about as Scott Morrison as a person. This is about our system of government and our democracy.
The Prime Minister is confident an Indigenous voice to Parliament will be supported by Australians. A referendum is scheduled for next year, designed to give Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders a greater say over policy issues. The Nationals will vote against the move, arguing it will do little to improve the life of Indigenous people. But Anthony Albanese says the voice will be an important feature of the Constitution.
It is time that we recognise First Nations people in our Constitution, and I am confident that this very gracious offer of Indigenous Australians will be accepted by the Australian people.
Police in Shanghai have arrested anti-government protesters as demonstrations spread around China. A deadly apartment fire in the country's far west has triggered nationwide rallies, with people blaming the 10 fatalities on China's strict zero-COVID policy. For the first time since President Xi Jinping assumed power a decade ago, citizens are calling for his resignation.
We want basic human rights. We want freedom. We want to free our country from this on fire, absurd regulations.
For my home, for my country, for my people, because I'm Chinese.
Now turning to FIVEAA sport, and Cameron Smith accepts he will slide down golf's world rankings as a result of his defection to LIV Golf. Smith is in Melbourne as he chases a maiden Australian Open win. The world number 3 can't accrue points in LIV events, but says he isn't too concerned.
As time goes on, I think those rankings become more and more irrelevant. It is a bit of a shame, but I've kind of had to deal with that for the last 3 or 4 months. I feel like I'm playing some really, really solid golf, and yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the bum.
And tensions are high ahead of the USA-Iran clash at the FIFA World Cup tomorrow morning. America's coach came under attack from Iranian journalists on match eve, even asked why he hasn't demanded the US government remove a naval ship off the Iran coast. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Samri. They don't grade cheese, they do great things. Get into it at samri.org.au.
Collisions to look out from the drive home. What a Dernan Court, Lyons Road at Balmoral Road, another one at Somerton Park, Brighton Road at Oaklands Road, and another one slowing things up at Morford Vale, Main South Road at O'Sullivan's Beach Road. Got road closures for the Adelaide 500, including Decatterville Terrace and Bartels Road. Avoid those for delays on the drive home. Hungry? Head to Oporto for the Bondo Burger Box. Double Bondo Burger, 2 crispy chicken strips, snack tips, drink and dipping sauce, just $16.95 at Oporto. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Now the FIVEAA forecast.
Get the Toyota forklift advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Mostly clear tonight, a low of 11. Mostly sunny tomorrow, 24. Thursday sunny and 26. And Friday sunny and a top of 28. Right now it's 18 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
The SA schoolie stunt that goes horribly wrong. Hear from the teen at the centre of it all, his warning to others. A sex crime suspect arrested 34 years after a Western Suburbs attack. Airport firefighters to strike next week, how it could affect your holiday travel. And scam season, why you need to be on high alert this Christmas. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News, happening now.
Patience really does pay off, especially if you've been holding out for a shiny new Volkswagen Tiguan or Touareg. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen is now receiving truckloads of new Volkswagens, including the confident and clever Tiguan and the luxurious Touareg with a whopping 3.5-ton towing capacity. Secure a great price and take delivery before Christmas. Remember Mawson Lakes Volkswagen for servicing too, with next day servicing and free loan cars. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
It's time to discover authentic beauty. Let Silversea and Phil Hoffman Travel take you closer to the hidden parts of the world. With over 25 years experience, Silversea have been creating all-inclusive luxury cruise holidays to unforgettable destinations. Your intimate luxury cruise ship offers personalised service, beverages throughout the cruise and gourmet dining. Book with Phil Hoffman Travel and receive an exclusive $1,000 per person air credit off select European cruises. Visit pht.com.au.
Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA approved caravan crash repairer.
Rowie and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
Broadcasting live from the Barossa Valley, the beautiful Barossa, Steinborner Barossa Hyundai here in Nooriutpa. Tomorrow's car, it is in stock today. We are looking at it. It looks amazing. You can take a tech drive in the Hyundai Tucson Turbo Diesel. Experience innovative tech and all-wheel drive performance. Come and see Daryl.
Special cars. Oh. Special cars.
And there's special people in the Barossa, let me tell you, because the text line just drove past you lot at Steinborner on the way home. Gibson Wines is happy to donate $100 to Rowi's Ride to Rusden. A magnificent cause, Make-A-Wish. And the Rusden crew have always been supportive of the Gibson cellar door too. So thank you, Chad, for that $100. Chad. Appreciate that.
Keep those donations coming in, rowiesride.com.au. Johnny's 1700, is he the chief bid? This is for you and 9 mates. Jarmer's Kitchen for, a bit of a dinner, bit of a shindig, bit of a wine, bit of an everything.
Well, it's lifting a level, isn't it?
Fantastic. Close at 6:30. Get those bids in.
All right. I tell you what, the first test starts tomorrow in Perth, Australia versus the West Indies. We've got a guy that played, over 103 test matches, over 8,000 runs, you name it, was one of our greats. Matthew Hayden, welcome.
G'day, gents. How are you?
Excellent, my friend. No surprises in selection with that first 11, you wouldn't have thought?
No, I don't think so. To a man, they all performed pretty admirably, I think, in Pakistan, where they, played a very good series and a historic series, I might add. But I think it's a pretty solid team. And look, I think it's actually quite an interesting prospect from the West Indies side as well. They've got a good mix of youth and experience, and some particularly good fast bowlers, which will be lively over here in Perth. It's anything like the T20 game where they left about 8 or 9 mil of grass on it. Allegedly, and I haven't been to the wicket block yet, but allegedly it's over 10. So could be quite spicy.
Yeah. Hey, just with the West Indies, I have not seen them play Test cricket for that long. I was actually going to ask you, who can we look out for?
Yeah, you're right, because they don't play a lot of Test cricket. So even in the last few years, they don't tend to play that sort of magic number of 12, 15 tests, which other full membership nations tend to play. So you've got a couple of older players, which I'm sure you've heard of. Jason Holder is, basically about 10 foot tall. Bowls medium pace and is a handy batter and is a former skipper of the national team. Alzari Joseph, out and out fast bowler, right arm bowler. Jaden Seals, who bowls good outswingers at decent pace. He's only played a handful of tests, but he's got plenty of wickets to show, in the early stages of his career. Their captain, Craig Brathwaite, pretty decent batter. Not the sort of typical West Indian player. He tends to camp out and bat a long time, as does Tanjan Chandrapal as well, son, of course, of the very famous Chandrapal that we know of and have admired. Played 160-odd Test matches for the West Indies and over 10,000 runs. So, just those names in particular. There's a guy called Joshua De Silva who's their wicketkeeper. Now he's not an African descent. He's got I think it's Danish descent in him. So he's a different colour to the rest of the boys, but he's a lively character, can bat, decent keeper. Yeah, so plenty of interest, and we know the usual suspects, for Australia. Marnus Labuschagne in particular has got a brilliant record over here. Has had a pretty sort of lean start to the summer, but don't be surprised if you don't see him in and amongst the runs as well in this Test match.
The West Indies, for me, I'm a 60s baby. The 70s and 80s, they had a proud history. You used to love watching them as much as you liked the Aussie team. Do they prioritise it like they used to hate us, the West Indies? It just doesn't have the same spunk to me.
Yeah, look, it's a difficult and challenging time in world cricket. I mean, World Series brought to life our childhoods, didn't it? And it was through the shorter version of the game, which, when you go back and live those times as well, it really challenged the main game. 50-over competition, hand-delivered by media, just a superstar of the modern game in Kerry Packer. And and it challenged us all. And no different now is the way of franchise cricket and how it's really agitating in the market. The birth of franchises right across the world and different tournaments, being played simultaneously with the international program in the ICC's Future Tours program means that there's limited resources and a whole bunch of different additional layers of cricket, which is really challenging for countries like the West Indies that can't attract big bottom lines within their business model in the Caribbean cricket. So look, it is. It is and it has tended to just lose its shininess because, when you think of the great West Indian teams and some of the unique characters of the game, all committed to playing just only their country's cricket, it made for a riveting competition, but that's just not how it's going to be played out anymore, unfortunately.
Clive Lloyd, Sir Vivian Isaac, Alexander Richards, the list goes on.
Even more recently, Brian Lara, just these guys.
There you go.
Richie Richardson, extraordinary players.
Playing at the WACA was always legendary. It was bouncy, it cracked up, it always looked baked. It was a unique pitch, probably one of the most unique pitches in the world. I don't know what the drop-in pitches are like at Optus, but will it play the same? Do they get it from the same clay bed? Can you give us any history on that, Ados?
Yeah, so the insight to this venue is it does have similar clays, and it's got quite a lot of clay. I mean, these grounds, what they tend to do is drop in wickets now. They can tell you almost the exact percentage of clay and the various soils that go into it. But they do have very similar clays to the old WACA, so it does have a lot of bounce and a lot of carry. What they have to do, though, is they have to leave that grass on them, because what they don't tend to do, like the tradition that you were talking about, boys, with the old WACA, is they don't tend to crack up and those cracks don't displace. So if it starts just grassless and relatively flat, they just get better and better and better to bat on. And it's not Test cricket. It has to be a multi-dimensional surface. It has to bring in fast bowlers. It has to, promote movement of feet when playing spin, or coping with the bounce and the pace, the variation, or swing bowling. Some of the greats of the modern game were over and really were born over in the West, in and around swing bowling, and the ability of and what that meant then to world cricket. Those challenges are really, they have to be all presented in one wicket, which gets custom built in I think it's a 5-square block by memory, all custom built just outside the stadium, and then built inside the stadium as the footy season finishes, and it's got to have those flavours, if you like, of Test cricket. It's not Perth wicket, but I think they've struck a pretty good compromise.
Fair enough. Hey, yeah, there was some talk, about this might be the last time we see Davey Warner play Test cricket here in Australia, but I'm not more, that concerned with him retiring. I'm more concerned about who replaces him eventually. I just don't know that we've got opening batsmen jumping out of our barrel at the moment.
Yeah, look, I like and have liked ever since I saw Matt Renshaw play a few years ago for Australia, and he's I don't know what the advice was, but why he stopped opening the batting, I could never understand that. But I'm very pleased to see him back opening batting now. He got a good 100 and a good 80 against this touring side just last week at Manuka Oval in Canberra. So, to me, he's a very obvious choice. Keep developing, that potential as an opening batsman, because I think he's got a great, just a great overall game. He's very much like Matthew Elliott, I think, in the way that he plays, and he was a fine left-hand opening batsman. Look, we've got options. The great thing about cricket in Australia is that we actually do have a great pipeline of talent, and one of the sad things that saddens me, though, is that the Cricket Australia have decided to not invest into a cricket academy. I thought that was a huge decision for cricket at the end of the era of James Sutherland. So to me, you've got to have the retention of that culture and that traditions of the baggy green and all of those factors, and that respect element as well for the kind of history of our great game. You know, there's been 844 Test matches played in the Australian colours. The greats of the games, the Bradmans, down to the Pontings, and the more modern era, you'd have to also put, you know, someone like Davey Warner that you just mentioned into a category of superb cricketers. Steve Smith as well, averaging 60. You know, not 100 Test matches yet, but he probably will play over 100 Test matches. So lots of great history and colour and tradition in the baggy green, and you know, I think it's important to be retained in these high performance centres that the academy was able to bring.
Yeah.
You're a proud Aussie cricketer, Haydos. You've been a board member. You've played for all those years. You'd know well and truly about the appeal of our Test team. You've seen it at its highs and maybe at its lows. Have we got too many vegans or non-drinkers in there? Are we becoming to be too woke? Are we? I don't know. We're taking a knee this week. You know where I'm coming from. I love my Australian cricket team. I love them, but I don't know what it is, Haydos.
Well, look, if I can just sum it up in a nutshell, and I mentioned a few of the great names there in this last minute of the conversation, but of all of those years that we've been playing, nothing ever rocked the integrity of the sport like it did in South Africa when we first learned about national side not playing within the spirit of the game of cricket. And that, to me, was a very dark and very sad day. And to this day, no one's really ever taken any kind of leadership position on it or owned it to any degree. And so I think it's sort of more or less about just the integrity of the sport and trying to make sure. And this is why I felt so passionately about Justin as well, because when Justin came back into that setup, he was asked to shift that direction, and exactly that he did.
He did.
So for me, he kind of like got us proud again of our national cricket team, and it's done very well, you know, since that time, and even just more recently winning the T20 World Cup, played beautifully over in Pakistan. Didn't quite turn up to the ICC T20 tournament. I'm sure they'll be disappointed with that result. Looking to make amends, you know, throughout the summer against West Indian and then the South Africans arriving, you know, in Brisbane for the first Test match. So I suppose it's just all of us kind of feel that deeper sense of sadness from that event, but we're hoping that, you know, this new side can pull us together again and drag us into that space of just, as we have done for 844 Test matches, we've just been so incredibly proud of the fabric of the summer. That's how important it is to us. I mean, clubhouses around Australia, they have one very simple mandate, and that is to play the game hard and play the game fair and play with integrity. And that's why we love the game of cricket so much. And that's why we're captivated, you know, to see whether or not this great Australian cricket culture can drag us into a new era of cricket where it's never been more challenged, boys. Like I said before, you know, the Davey Warners of the world, who are multi-gifted, multi-talented cricketers that play cross formats, in particular play T20 format really, really well, are challenged. And it's the same, you know, really at the end of my career, I was challenged as to how long I'd play for Australia because there was six-figure sums that were waiting, you know, playing in the lucrative IPL competition. So it becomes difficult, and no former player, or I don't think any Australian supporter actually, looks at decisions and goes, "Gee, we kind of get it that it's hard, but we also want to get that it has to be fair as well, and that's the most important part about playing for Australia."
Spot on, mate. Love your passion. Thank you very much for your time, mate, and let's hope that we get the first victory over there in Perth.
Yeah, hope so. Should be a cracker, gents. Enjoy the Barossa. Goodness me.
Yeah,
I'll have a raisin or two for you. I know he loves his Reds, Haydos. Well
Absolutely,
done.
brilliant. Matthew Hayden, our guest.
Very jealous.
And the great Matthew Hayden, thanks to Channel 7, Australia and the West Indies live and free. Channel 7 from midday every day. So we're looking forward to the summer of cricket and the Test matches starting. We're going to take a short break. On the other side, we have a response from the Glenelg Football Club. We'll let you know what that says.
Hello.
And I also have some great news for Stephen Rowe, because Max from Beaumont $2,000.
Maxi
Maxi from Beaumont. He might Stephen Bradbury style pinch it with 9 minutes to go. We'll take a short break. Here's what's happening on the roads for your drive home.
Got a few collisions to look at from the drive home. What Dernan Court Lines Road at Balmoral Road, another one at Somerton Park, Brighton Road at Oaklands Road, and another one slowing things up at Morford Vale, Main South Road at O'Sullivan's Beach Road. Got road closures for the Adelaide 500, including Decatterville Terrace and Bartels Road. Avoid those for delays on the drive home. Hungry? Head to Oporto for the Bondo Burger Box. Double Bondo Burger, 2 crispy chicken strips, snack chips, drink and dipping sauce, just $16.95 at Oporto. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
5AA's Business of the Week, showcasing the iconic South Australian businesses that shape our community.
Produced in the small town of Maiponga, FIVEAA Milk Company is a 100% locally owned and operated dairy plant that supports local dairy farmers. FIVEAA Milk Company produces real milk the way it used to taste. And because it's so local, it can be straight from a farm to your table within hours.
FIVEAA Milk Company, our Business of the Week, on 13.95 Adelaide's 5AA.
People give me a hard time because of the way I am with my car. I just think I keep my vehicle to a certain standard. And eBay has all the products I need. Never underestimate what a good wax and polish can do. You see, eBay is home to Australia's widest range of car parts and products. The best bit though, if it doesn't fit, eBay's got my back with their money-back guarantee. So I can browse, buy, carefree with eBay's money-back guarantee.
Like shocks shooting through your body.
That's how some people describe their shingles pain. Shingles is caused by the reactivation of the chickenpox virus. While most people recover fully, up to 25% may experience long-term complications.
I had to cancel all my plans and struggled to work.
Up to 1 in 3 people risk developing shingles in their lifetime.
If you're 50 or over, don't let shingles affect your plans.
Talk to your doctor for more information. Individual symptoms may vary. Sponsored by GlaxoSmithKline Australia, Melbourne.
First day of my new business, insured by QBE. Cue the lights. Cue the first customers.
Hello.
Cue the morning rush. Cue the unavoidable. Cue the call to QBE.
Hi, sorry.
Cue the quick response.
We'll get that sorted for you.
QBE Insurance on cue for thousands of small businesses before and after. Search QBE SME or talk to your broker today.
See qbe.com/au for eligibility, the PDS and the TMD to decide if this product is right for you. The product issuer is QBE Insurance Australia Limited.
Who can fix the shower?
Service today.
Who can fix the power?
Service today.
Yes, we can, is what we say at Service Today.
Every time you see our bright yellow trucks in your area, we're helping out your neighbours. We can help you too. So for the best plumbing, electrical, heating and cooling work, call Service Today 24/7.
Can you fix the shower? Yes, we can. Can you fix the power? Yes, we can. Yes, we can, is what we say at Service Today.
Call 1300 Service.
Good pals are hard to find, but at Parafield Airport Liquor Store, hard to find is our specialty. Whether you're after old reliable pals or want some new pals, Sam, Jamie and the team know just the pals for you. They've made pals with over 200 gins, over 300 craft beers, over 500 whiskies from around the world, and over 2,000 wines. Parafield Airport Liquor Store, Pals, open till late 7 days. Next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
Give the gift of live music this Christmas with tickets to the Red Hot Summer Tour 2023, starring Paul Kelly,
I've done all the dumb things,
Bernard Fanning,
and I just want to wish you
and Missy Higgins. Plus Mark Seymour, Vicar and Linda, Ian Moss and Troy Casadale at the magnificent Sappelsfield in the Barossa, January 22.
Merry Christmas.
It's the ultimate Christmas gift. For tickets, go to redhotsummertour.com.au.
Scraped your caravan? Your insurance should cover that. Speak to Walker Crash Repairs and let them fix it.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
26 minutes after 6, we are celebrating our great mates at FIVEAA Milk Company. They are 5AA's Business of the Week. We love Baz and the team. How good
Champions,
are they?
Jeff.
Kimmy Costa.
Blimey.
Yeah. Clay
Sampson.
Sampson. 3 words that make the difference. Here are the words. FIVEAA Milk Company. They are South Australian and they are proud of it. We have a new bid.
I can't believe this. A late bid from John at Gawler, 2,200. He was outbid before, I think, by
Max from Beaumont Tiles.
And he's
Max
jumped
from
in
Beaumont.
over the top of him and bidded 2,200 for Roey's dinner at Jarmas, which is going to be absolutely awesome. Still a couple of minutes to outbid each other.
Yeah, North Point Toyota's Roey's Ride to Rusden. 9 mates at Jarmas Kitchen will be fantastic, but we have been well hosted here.
Oh, have we? What?
By none other than the Iceman, Daryl Pearce.
Thanks, boys.
Steinborners, this is amazing. How good?
Hey, we pride ourselves on good old-fashioned customer service from the country. We offer new, used, demo Hyundai, and like I said, I've been working for the company now for 16 years.
Yeah.
And like I said, love it, absolutely love it, and we appreciate you guys coming out.
Well,
and having a good
I think
time.
we had Chad say he drove past earlier, and he just said how good the hospitality is. So
there you go.
Donated
there you
$100 to make
Beautiful.
use. There's a Hyundai in the foyer here.
There is.
In the showroom.
Yes.
That's how many years old?
Or the white one?
Yeah, the white one, the old one.
Yeah, well, that's a vintage
That's
1990.
it. So from 19, it's an old clunker. You know.
Well, most people remember the old Hyundai XLs.
That's
They
it.
might have had one back in the day.
Yeah.
The modern ones. Oh my God, next level.
Well, again, you boys walk past there the brand new Sonata there, and as I said, it's a performance sports car, luxury car. It's got all the latest safety features.
I bought the wife one of those in '97. It didn't look like that.
It looked very different to that one there. So
You
yeah,
could
correct.
fang that around.
Outstanding.
Is your nickname the Iceman?
Well, I haven't heard that one for a few years, boys.
No.
Yeah, hey,
Daryl
if I could
Pearce.
only, I could shoot a few hoops like
Can
him.
you?
No, if only I could, I probably wouldn't be selling cars.
So we know you're a good Crows man, and,
Yes.
and in the EPL you're a Wolves man.
Wolves man, yes, definitely.
Wolverhampton.
Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
Well, that was the game I saw when I went over. I saw Crystal Palace versus Wolverhampton
There you
Wolves.
go. There you go.
And you were telling me your grandfather bought the club many years ago.
My dad's uncle bought the club. So
wow.
yes, many years ago, back in the 80s. So yeah, club was in a bit of
How
trouble.
good's that?
He bought it, got a few investors on board, and sold it off. So
Imagine
yeah,
if he still had it now.
I think the family was still wish he had it. So yeah, but they're my team. So
Well, thank you for hosting us. It's been absolutely superb. All the best up till Christmas and the New Year, and we're going to be here for you, big Iceman, you.
fantastic. Hey, pleasure having you out here, boys. Thank you very much.
No,
Brilliant.
great
Daryl
work.
Pearce.
Daryl Pearce there.
Fantastic.
Okay, dokie. So we're going to close it up here.
I think all
Johnny
bids are
from
done.
Gawler,
We'll
are
just
all
check
bids done and
with
dusted?
Sam. All bids done. All bids dusted, Sam.
Sam, are all bids done?
Max from Beaumont, he's back.
Max from Beaumont.
2,300.
Oh,
He's the winner.
Stephen Bradbury, right?
Maxie from Beaumont Tiles, 2,300 big ones. Max, I look forward to hosting you with a number of the guys. You can bring 9 mates, Jarmas Kitchen,
Well done.
to Chris Jarma. I
Yes,
mean, he is
superstar.
just a generous, magnificent man, and it'll be a great night because last year's was absolutely superb. Thank you to everyone that bidded. Thank you to everyone that donated. You can head to robiesride.com.au. And tomorrow,
Yeah.
Recce
Yes.
team, David
Ooh,
and Will, have
yes.
got 2 fantastic auction items.
Have they?
Do not miss
All right.
breakfast tomorrow for the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Congratulations to you, Max from Beaumont, $2,300. And again, thank you so much to Daryl and the team for having us here. Steinborner, Barossa Hyundai in Nooriatpa. And while we're saying thank yous, I do need to thank Foodland, who sponsor our live stream on our Facebook and our YouTube. What we should have done is, because Tim's back is no good, Tim's been
still in
standing
frame.
for the last however you weren't when Daryl came over and did the chat. So to Foodland and everyone that watched your crutches for about 5 minutes, we do apologise. Stay tuned on the other side of the break. Awkward?
Awkward.
Maybe you'll get more hits. You
Just
never
lost
know.
my hat.
It's all about the ticks. Stay tuned on the other side of the break. He's a new crow, Max Michaelani, next.
FIVEAA breakfast. Language now has no meaning. The World Health Organisation will start referring to monkeypox as Mpox. The move prompted by concerns over